saying, one of the employees reoriented the map for me, and it became much more useful.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing they'll pay attention to. A visitor sending them an email.
Maybe.
They're much more likely to pay attention to that than you.
Yes. Unfortunately true.
I'm tempted. I have been tempted on a number of occasions to print a neat, professional-looking label and sticking it on the map and saying, if you have trouble getting oriented, email this person. And then I pick whoever's at the top of the real estate tree. Dice.
Yep.
We are live.
Sure, I thought I was Memorex.
No, you are not Memorex.
I do like the Hotels.com commercial that I've seen recently, where it starts out with one girl, one woman, she's by a pool, selfies, pictures being taken, and then cuts these two women who are in a park wearing jackets and hats. And, why is she there and we're here? Captain Obvious says, condoms.
Evidently they were in a park watching kids.
Yeah.
Morton hasn't sent any email or called or anything.
No.
2, 4, 6.
It is, however, right on the dot at 7:30. Well,
It is
7:34.
So,
That clock is a little bit slow.
yeah.
Our clock is a little bit fast.
It's not late enough yet to be penalized.
You didn't say he was going to be late.
What?
You didn't say he was going to be late.
That's correct. He has not. Certainly
At
not
least
within
we
the-
haven't gotten an email yet.
So
He may be out there right now, meticulously parallel parking.
that could be his terrible drive skill.
I prefer to attribute it to meticulousness.
Okay. Well, that's generous of you.
It costs me nothing.
It does not cost you. Accuracy. It's accuracy. You don't know. It's possible. It could be. That's the real reason. Maybe. Also, maybe his drive skills only 4. I'm terrible.
I'm not going to bother looking it up. Can you actually make a skill worse than mediocre? And do you gain anything by doing it?
I don't know about PCs. I know Betty has a resolve that is less than mediocre.
The only,
And yes, she did gain something by it.
Well, yeah, you can. Because you can roll negative on your, medium
No,
skill.
he's
No,
asking
base.
you have a basic skill.
You have
Base
a
skill
base skill
below
less-
mediocre.
Below mediocre.
I don't think you're supposed to build PCs with the base skill of less than mediocre. But there's no reason you can't make an NPC.
I don't recall seeing anything as ridiculous as that, so I suspected that it can't be done.
Yeah.
Within the bounds of the rules.
I would phrase it as is not intended.
Betty has low resolve in exchange for high money.
Yes.
You don't remember what we were doing?
Yes. You had just climbed out of a hole that had been shrinking.
Through like remaining sticks of dynamite probably.
Yes. As it was
Yes.
sealing itself shut, you threw a bunch of dynamite down.
And then I shot.
My way of saying goodbye.
And you saw signs, somebody saw signs of vampire bones.
That was earlier.
Okay.
That was after we threw the 2 sticks of dynamite.
Yes.
Right.
The big bundle of dynamite, 5 sticks of dynamite maybe? 5, yeah. Was just as it was, closing up almost.
Which is good because otherwise,
Dropped out of a hole. I dropped a hole. We don't do anything.
No, it was well outside. You were well outside the explosive zone.
Well,
Emma, on the other hand, was probably less than happy with
Yes.
that was the point.
is it sentient enough to recognize us?
Well,
Really go
it is an undifferentiated mass of something.
Thus, the honest question of
It seems to be very acidic.
yes, it is very dangerous. It is a threat to any humans and others around it. But I'm not sure that
it has a certain degree of self-awareness.
I'm not sure it was aware of us as beings.
Pull the rope off of it.
Just irritations.
Well,
You're just lucky that I caught the rope, guys.
Uh-huh.
It's really bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we were, and thank you. And let's not do that again.
so the 2 dates that Martin is not going to be here are November 5th and 12th, right?
That's what I vaguely recall.
Okay.
I'm not here to 12.
You're not here the 12th, right? It's the day we're going to be playing basic.
Pascal?
As long as it isn't cool.
There is a program at my former employer, Sima. This company has one customer that I will bet real money that it is written in COBOL.
Hello, Martin.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm so late.
Well, you weren't late enough to get penalized.
Nope.
Just
I
late.
got rubber gloves.
15.
Yes. The stream has already started. So, no swearing.
Or shut you down.
Damn it. I mean,
Oh, cinnamon.
oh, cinnamon. Yes. So we are standing in a tunnel over a hole which you might say is puckering.
I think it's time to leave.
Well, before we do this, everyone should make an alertness roll.
Oh boy.
I believe he told us to make it.
Well, somebody has to. It doesn't have to be everybody to make the alertness roll.
Might as well try it.
All right,
Great.
so that's a superb from you. That's way lower than your usual alertness roll.
Yeah.
Epic! My goodness.
You don't go high all the time.
All right.
Must not matter greatly.
Well, superb is good enough, but epic. My goodness. So the whole tunnel, as soon as the hole finished closing, the whole tunnel sort of shivered a little bit, and everybody who got superb or above noticed that it was a very mild, almost unnoticeable quake. But epic, in addition to that little shimmer, it seems to be very slowly getting, the whole tunnel seems to be getting smaller, like contracting.
I think the explosion made a little vibration.
Guys, I believe that this tunnel may be contracting.
Bye.
So,
Yes, let's get out of the anus here.
well, the hole would probably be the anus or cloaca. What you are in is the intestine.
Or the rectum.
Still, I would
Could have killed him.
I would be in favor of sprinting back the way we came from.
Or maybe holding hands and teleporting?
Could do that.
Yeah, I thought.
I agree.
Where do you want to go?
Surface.
I was thinking just past the warning inscribed on the floor. Of the
Just
final
past the year you died.
Yeah.
So past year's death.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it might be for the greater good to close off the tunnel beyond that point, assuming it's not already collapsing when you get that far.
Okay, let's go there.
Okay.
So you're saying that you want to take this last stick of dynamite and collapse this?
Close
Looks
that
like a
tunnel?
plan to me. I don't.
Let's examine the area just on the wrong side of the warning to see if there's any signs that it is contracting.
Also, isn't there like a giant something or other crawling around here? Wisdom process?
Remember.
There was half of a large worm-like
All
creature.
right, half of it.
Mm-hmm.
The back half got blown off by you guys. With an incendiary grenade, I believe.
Yep.
And
Just half of your
but the front half
strength
kept
is
going,
by that.
but there was a wall and a trap between where you are now and where you were there. So
Maybe we should see if it fell in the trap or hit the wall or something.
The trap was a large. The trap was a heavy weight falling from above.
Down, yes.
Go check it out. Just to make sure that it's warm.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, you don't want to check if the floor is moving here?
No, yeah, we should do that first.
Okay, the floor moving.
somebody needs to investigate.
Check my gadget.
That would be a legendary initial investigation.
I can't tell.
Epic for me.
I got fantastic.
Well, everybody fantastic and above says no.
Seems like
It was contracting very slowly back where we were. Here it doesn't seem to be contracting at all.
Okay, then let's go in and investigate the trap.
Yep. I forget exactly how far it was, but
Away.
yeah.
No one was measuring anything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I got more suppositories right here.
And
Worms
watch for
possible.
anything out of the ordinary, which would probably be more an alertness thing than an investigation
We
thing.
know to look up.
True.
So we head down the corridor a ways.
I'm gonna stalk myself just in case, so I don't touch these guys. But it's like the crappiest roll ever.
Really? I'd be surprised if you got less than half that.
Actually, okay, you're right. I got legendary, but
It's still pretty good.
That is very good.
I risk legendary stealth for the moment. Don't waste your big point on it.
So you get to, you can see the wall there. It has not been breached. The trap has not been triggered.
Or reset.
no squish worm.
There is no squished worm on this side of the wall.
That's too bad.
So-
I have to go and track that stupid thing down and kill it. So it'll just regrow itself.
Why?
Yeah.
As I understand it, it's locked up. Is there any reason to really blow things up?
I don't know. The wall itself is pretty easy to breach.
Okay.
Any normal human with a sledgehammer could bust his way through it.
Okay.
It's. But most people would go, oh, it's a brick wall. I'm going to stop and turn around and go back.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after they pass the area with bones and the warning. So,
Although there are unfortunately plenty of people who would be intrigued and
Yes.
hear that a warning like that would lead just to a blank
I
wall.
just don't want to leave this thing roll around just in case it finds some other tunnel that comes up to the surface or goes someplace where it should.
Yeah.
That's all.
Cannot argue with that.
A point.
Do we have something to kill it with other than incendiary grenades?
Oh, shoot it.
Okay.
Well, hopefully that won't result in little blobs of it growing into big blobs.
yeah, because it's not really a worm. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's shaped like a worm, but it's made from the substance of Abhoff.
Oh, no, we used the first grenade, we just burned it.
Yeah, I was thinking if one grenade did for half of it, presumably another one will do for the remaining half. Hopefully.
Now we just have to figure out how to find the thing. I don't suppose it left a trail of ooze along the ground, did it?
Well, you're still on the other side of the wall.
Ah.
No one has said, we're going back through the door. The secret door.
Well, all you have to do is walk rhythmically and we will attract the worm.
Yes, of course.
Walk like an Egyptian?
Whatever, Paul Wadib.
I'm afraid it's a different species of worm.
Yeah, it is definitely not a sand.
Smaller, but even less pretty and less pleasant smelling.
Actually, if you look at the picture of the actual thing that it's based on, can grow very large. Like bigger than a sandworm.
Wow.
Sounds to me like Abhoff is compensating for something.
No.
It's the original that can grow so big. Abhoff's one is much smaller.
Yes. The one that he created is a sort of smallish version.
Yeah, it sounds like a wimp god there.
Yes. Go back into its room and tell it
Yeah, I'm not playing.
that.
I already said my goodbyes with a 5 sticks of
Yes.
dynamite, okay? I'll come back next time with 500.
You really don't believe in overkill.
No.
Overkill is just a way to make sure the job is done.
It lacks finesse.
Oh,
That is
I'm sorry, I was thinking of a different thing. This is not a dole, it's a cathone.
Oh,
So this can only really, let's see, how long is that? 12, 18, about 24 feet long is a big one.
Fine there.
So it's not an enormous thing, but it, you know, a 24-foot long worm-like creature.
It's the size of a truck.
Yes.
You're getting used to hitting another person. Yes, another DOG. What do you think of another
So,
DOG, huh?
Are we just going to stand here on this side of the wall? Nobody was suggesting that they do anything about the wall.
right.
I think somebody assumed that they were already on the other side of the wall magically.
no,
I was perfectly content waiting here.
Okay.
I did a quick check for slime or any other obvious things at Fantastic for visual investigation.
Yes, there's none of that on this side of the
So
wall.
it doesn't seem to have come through the wall. Hopefully
that's
it's
right.
not waiting just the other
The
side.
wall closed behind us.
Yes.
But has an obvious way to open it.
On the other side, it's obvious, yes. On this side, it's not obvious.
Oh, we
Yeah,
figured
You,
it out.
across
you
four
investigate, you
places
guys
is the
know
right
what it is, but
Yeah.
you,
sequence.
yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll just open the wall.
All right.
Hello. Yes.
Maybe. I
Oh,
have a stick of dynamite.
you could take Maxim 14 for an aspect.
Yeah.
What is 14 again?
Mad science means never stopping to ask, what's the worst thing that could happen?
All right. Well.
So I said, over there. And then this. Trying to get used to this. DOG here.
I've forgotten that one. The company mess and friendly fire should be easier to tell apart.
What was that?
The company mess and friendly fire should be easier to tell apart.
This goes along with close air support and friendly fire should be harder to
Should be harder. Easier.
should also be easier to tell apart. Yes.
No, should also be easy to tell apart.
If the manufacturer's warranty
we
comes
open
down,
it up.
you didn't do
I'm
enough
going
damage.
through the door. I'm looking for a worm.
Well, you don't really have to look because the moment that you open the door, you go, "Hey, there's the worm right on the other side of the wall." That apparently didn't decide to break through. It just got to a wall and went. I don't really have enough brain power to figure out what to do.
Okay, this is cool. I'll pull a grenade, pull a pin, and close the door.
Alrighty then.
There is. There is no overkill. There is only open fire and reload.
And then I'll do a step on the latch and a step on Zoe.
Okay, good idea. Yes, you hear a whoosh on the other side of the door.
Probably there is little enough air circulation through small cracks in the bricks that we're not smelling anything yet.
No.
Hey, Edgy, why don't you send your buddy down the other side here and see if he has a dead worm or not?
Has he recovered from the...
Let me give me a moment to get hold of him. He was having problems with this area earlier, but
Tell him to get off the crapper and
Oh,
do
yeah.
his job.
Because there's no reason that he should have been having a problem.
So it's a god big deal.
It was a god of like foulness and death.
Yeah,
So
I think goes with Pluto. Yeah. Underworld.
Pluto's a much nicer guy by comparison. In fact, hell would be comparatively nice.
Yeah.
If you're comparing her to Abaha.
How many gods of the various underworlds are not nicer gods than Abaddon?
Hopefully
Nurgle
very
maybe
few
is
of
about
them.
as bad.
Well, still my
Are you able to summon your friend?
that's what what I'm trying.
Right,
Like,
so
against
yes,
the
you-
wall
you-
and-
Spend a moment, and there he is. Yes.
So first thing I ask silently is, are things are things any better in this area than when you left? No,
Yes.
it wouldn't be audible at all.
He's lost in thought.
He is lost in thought. Yes. Yes.
Or lost in
Though
space.
there's some like major ethereal maelstrom going on now. I mean, off.
Off
Over
that
there.
way down.
Yeah.
I'm guessing somebody's having trouble digesting my breath.
And I'll ask, are you able and willing to go about a yard that away through that wall and see if the creature on the other side is dying as thoroughly as we hope it?
Sure, I can do that. So yes, wanders off, comes back. What the hell was that?
I believe.
Or we had some kind of
I
goo.
believe
There's
form
nothing
of
over there that looks like it was ever alive.
Well, I guess
That doesn't
that's
tell us
good
anything.
news.
Not really.
Is there?
I mean, there were no organs or
Is there evidence?
bones or.
But is there something burning?
Yes.
And there would probably be a bad smell if you.
I
were
don't have a
capable of
nose
smelling.
that can
Yeah,
smell,
okay.
so that doesn't help.
So I will report that
There's a lot of thick smoke.
yes, there's something still smoldering and a lot of thick smoke. Like other creatures we dealt with, no internal organs, and interestingly, my friend says he doesn't perceive any evidence that it ever was alive, but smoldering. Remains
Put the
for
gas
Heather.
mask on because eventually they will open that again.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, for those
Put my gas
for
mask
those
on.
of you who don't feel like taking a ghost word for it, it's probably safe enough to open the door and look, other than
Burning
it'll smell
foulness
horrible.
that
Yeah, I'm
The
going
door.
with gas mask.
Take a look.
All right. So everybody who is not in an environment suit is putting on a gas mask.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Right?
Right.
Yes. I saw him do a gesture
Okay.
to indicate putting on a gas mask.
All right.
So yes, it seems to be dead. I mean, there's no worm-like thing on the other side of that wall. There's a lot of smoke. There's a little bit of sizzling still going on. But charred whatever is all that remains as far as you can tell. Somebody make an investigation roll, please.
Oh, inspiring.
superb.
Legendary or like
epic.
hearing and not applicable
Epic.
touch.
I'm not taking anything in.
Okay.
You know, under the
Taking in the
circumstances, I
smoke.
can't blame you.
So if you got epic or above, while there isn't anything large left, there is right over there. It's covered in char, but it's kind of a bigger lump of
Whatever
something.
that stuff is.
Any pot?
I mean, it's maybe, I don't know, a 5-gallon sized lump.
Okay.
That's fair.
But it's, like I said, it's covered in char. It's smoldering. It's not moving.
Okay.
Is it more than a zone
Not
away from me?
moving is good.
No, I'd say it's within a zone of you.
So
Back
Everybody, back to the door.
Yep.
I'm gonna go around the door and I'm gonna go and close the door real fast.
Okay, you're not just ducking and hoping that it doesn't come back through the door. You're actually going to close the door. Because that first indication seemed like you're just dodging us beside the door.
Nope, I'm pushing the door shut and then I'm dodging away.
Okay. Fine, another woof.
Open the door again.
There's pretty much nothing left but ash now.
Yeah.
Even all the
nothing.
char is gone. It's like,
No, nothing left but ash. I consider a good outcome.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
So,
sorry, Garrus.
I got a canteen here. You like plus some water or something and we can pour all these ashes? Yeah,
Sure.
Use the top, right? Or whatever that
Yep.
is.
Yep, I should be able to bless water. Would that be a mysteries roll to see how effective it is? I've even got a chant for laying to rest evil things sent by sap or other unfriendly powers. Well, that's a wash. Yeah, my base mysteries is great, and I definitely wouldn't hurt to be sure. I'll throw a wee point at it. Yeah, might as well go with the obvious mysteries of Egypt.
okay, the water now has a temporary aspect of blessed.
And I am sprinkling it over all the, bits of ash or
Okay.
places that
It doesn't seem to be doing anything, but go right ahead.
Yeah. No, in this particular instance, I agree heartily with Jack's thoroughness. Since as far as we know, we just need to walk back through a bunch of tunnels to get to the surface. I'm not worried about using up a fair bit of my canteen of water.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now here's a thought that might have a little bit more finesse than just collapsing the tunnel. There, I wonder how easy it would be to fuse this wall into a solid mass with no trick openings to it.
Look
An
at
ordinary
how
man
thick
with a
it
sledgehammer
is.
could
I
beat
think
his
you
way
said
through here.
that the sledgehammer would go through the wall.
Okay,
Yeah.
Drop 100 feet of stone though.
Oh,
It'd
So-
take a little bit more.
carefully place charges just the other side of the wall.
Fortunately, we have a demolitions expert here,
I can do that.
Annie.
Do we
Yeah,
have
we
anything
only
more
have the
than
one
one?
stick, right?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Okay.
nobody brought any seed.
I could
How
go get
strange
some. I
you
have
saw
some
us.
up in the ship. But
Well, I would say you're the demolitions expert. In your opinion, can it be done with one stick of dynamite, or do you need more oomph?
it would be a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, you like the challenge, right?
I don't mind a challenge. But it would be simpler with the sea because I can split that up into small sections and create a very targeted blast.
Oh.
I seem to remember that Jack can teleport to the airship without needing to know where the airship is to small
Yeah.
fractions of a meter. Two of you could go get some sea and be right back, I would think.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll grab 2 blocks. We only think we need one.
But
Okay.
two will make a much more satisfying explosion.
No, I'll only use one. But the
Just
thing,
in case.
So,
Okay, go back.
back. And I will take time carefully placing one of the blocks of sea to collapse the area.
Make an engineering roll.
does
And use
demolitions
what?
actually give a bonus?
Yes,
or-
well, all it does is increase the effect.
Oh.
I think I did it.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Yes, you
First
are
roll of the
certain
day.
you did it. As a matter of fact.
Plus 3. Yeah.
Ah, there it
Well,
is.
it's
So
epic, right?
I believe it's epic 7.
Yeah.
Is epic, yeah.
I
Yep.
lost track of the C. That's all.
Which means that the effect, I believe,
It's
is
kind of
awe
important stuff.
inspiring.
It's in your back
Yeah.
pocket.
So
Back down real fast.
you collapse about 20
It just
feet
gets sticky.
of ceiling. So that would take quite a while. I mean, a guy with a sledgehammer is not going
Not
to
going to come through.
come
it.
through there. You know, a team of people with picks and shovels and crowbars could do it
You know,
eventually. But,
yeah, determined miners can go through solid rock.
Well,
There's only
the
so
tunnels
much-
you're
yeah.
in were created
Right.
by.
There's
people
only
mining
so much
limestone,
we can
so-
do to protect people from their folly. Collapsing
Yeah.
20 feet of tunnel will stop one idiot or probably 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe we should
Unless
patch
there's
another.
bonus
Maybe we should
jack.
patch another 20 feet just to be on the
Do
safe
we
side.
know roughly how far below ground we are? Just
No,
a ballpark.
we haven't
Not
been
really.
really
I mean, you
track.
went off the map quite a while before you got to here. So
And I'm betting no one has any
And it
survival
was
stunts that would tell us
all
that.
downward. Well,
yeah, you were certainly going down pretty much the whole
Yeah.
time.
Well, I'm concerned about, dropping another 20 feet and seeing daylight. I suspect
You are
that's not the
further
case.
than 40 feet down, but it was 20 linear feet, I believe he was saying.
yes.
And
Not
I
20
would
feet.
have
I
vertical.
don't have
I
a
would've
track,
checked
so I took 2
Yeah.
survival
that
stunts, but
it
not
didn't
that one.
appear that anything would have caused a sinkhole.
We're deeper than my concern.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're not South African diamond mine deep.
Yeah,
But-
we're somewhere in
You're
somewhere in
fairly
about
down. You're fairly
above
far down.
this part of the floor will collapse, making a dangerous place. But
I think
I
it's
risked it.
much more effective rather than blocking off more to just leave it out. Take out my fountain pen and tear a sheet out of the notepad
right,
and write out only monsters beyond. Sealed to stop them from eating everything.
fair enough.
If
Possibly
you're crawling
slightly
around in the,
You
exaggerated.
have an idea that some monster had to come down here and he'll go right for it.
Only so much we can do.
Probably another 20
It's
feet.
a lot harder.
It'll cause the treasure hunters to at least reconsider.
That's
Who
true.
goes
If
treasure
somebody,
hunting in a catacomb anyway?
somebody who thinks
Um,
there's old,
Yeah.
old valuable stuff
It
buried
would
down
Yeah.
there, hardly
be the
unprecedented.
Time somebody decided that it had to be.
So, somewhere in New England, there's a 150-foot shaft that people have kept digging because little bits and pieces of evidence that pirates did something there have led people to assume that there must be buried treasure.
Good old Oak Island.
Yeah, that's the place.
Studied that with moderate thoroughness once upon a time and concluded if there ever was a treasure, somebody found it early on, and everyone digging since then has been wasting their time. Note I say if. It could also have been a diversion while the real treasure was hidden.
Those
Yeah.
Well, just remember, I have the strongest tactics of anyone here apparently, and I think we should go another 20 feet. It's like we're going to use the sea for anything else. And it's here.
Oh, I'm sure we find other things to do with it presently, but
Not really, because see, we came down to kill 4 vampires, and we did.
true.
Our purpose here is done, so we got to get to our secondary purpose, which is getting Lennon back up to the sanitarium, so we can lure a kill out, so I can break every bone in his body.
I'm of two minds about dropping the extra 20 feet.
What's
It
your
seems-
argument
it seems
against?
like it seems unnecessary, but at the same time, it seems maybe possibly necessary.
Anyone who would dig their way through 20 would dig their way through 20.
That is a valid.
Alas, I
There,
fear so.
there is a point where all you are doing is making them work harder for what they're pounding and determining.
Let's put it this way: anybody who digs through the 20 feet, breaks through the wall, and continues on to meet up with Habhoff, really is getting what they deserve.
I'm inclined to think Abhoff is probably worse than nearly anybody.
I don't understand people's reluctance to use this thing since we got it in our hand. It doesn't make any logical sense.
I don't see the
I'm
need to use
swayed
it
by
just
the
because we have it.
anybody you go through to dig through 20 feet would dig through 40 feet argument.
Yeah, especially since anybody who studies it closely is going to see that it was artificially dropped here. They're going to think that if somebody's dropped 40 feet of tunnel, there must be something really important back there. So, I don't see the need to use it just because we have it. At the same time, I can see the value of increasing the impediment. So,
It's called not making a decision.
it's called analysis
Really want
paralysis.
me to-
Yes, it is, which is another way of saying not making a decision.
Well,
Really?
I mean, I
I
don't.
abstain.
If somebody's
It's
willing
not my
to dig through 20 feet of rubble, they're probably willing to dig through 40 feet of rubble. I don't
That
know.
was just that.
Yeah, how much difference that would make.
The last time people didn't listen to me.
What?
Did he say something?
If you really want to, and you'll drop the topic. Drop it another 20 feet.
Well, okay, is that going to be on this side of the wall then? Okay, so the other one was just on the other side of the wall.
We'll leave about a 15-foot gap between the two.
Okay.
Because I had already written a nice little note and set it there next to the rubble saying only monsters beyond, sealed to prevent them from eating everything.
Okay. Make another engineering roll.
I'm just going to make sure that I'm going in the direction of out.
And you can take your time.
Yeah.
If you roll plus 3 again, you don't need to. Yes.
Plus 2.
I guess I'll take one-time increment.
Why?
Consistency.
Okay. Yes, everybody, I am assuming, moves well back from the explosion.
I do.
Well, yeah,
I
of
hope
course
they,
you do.
I hope they catch the hint.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take that.
Look, he's planting. She is planting explosives.
She is done planting explosives.
That
It's
is
a
bad.
little wire and it's stringing it out.
Yeah. Well,
My objective is to be farther away from the explosive than she is.
Oh, very good.
fair enough.
Good idea.
I'm with him. Big boom coming.
And there is a big boom, and yes, another 20 feet of ceiling collapse.
An ordnance deck in motion outranks everyone.
So, I have to get back to the sanitarium. So, Lennon can beat it.
Boom cake. I have a hot bath to get to.
There's a hospital bed to get to.
Yeah.
I think my destination sounds better.
Okay. So we are back in. Let's see.
We're back above ground in Geneva, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or Paris?
Well, you
We're in
exit.
Paris.
Yes, we're in
Paris.
Paris
You're right.
because
Paris.
that's where. Yes.
Paris, right?
Yeah, I mean, you were in Switzerland before, but then you moved to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And when searching for dead bodies, you found some obviously killed by vampire dead bodies.
We didn't dispose of those bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, bodies are disposed.
That's what it is. Vampires of Paris again. It's worse than the werewolves of London. Yeah.
Vampires of Paris, the sequel. As
Uh-huh.
annoying as the first one.
So, yes, you go back to the sanitarium as Lennon.
Mm-hmm.
You are once again Lennon's doctor.
Lennon's nurse?
Yeah.
Or she may be off duty.
She's off duty.
She's off duty right now. It is, by the way, the 1st of February. Is that correct?
Still is. What time of day?
It is about 6 p.m. as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, 1 second. Clean, I can go get dinner then.
Yes.
Now I get to eat hospital food. Wonderful.
Enjoy the
February
Jello.
1st for about 6 days.
Actually, it is Paris. It would, even the hospital food would probably be better than normal quality. The French are very proud of their food cuisine.
Every meal I went to in Marseille, they would always, waitress would always say bon appetit. She dropped off all the food. Every place. Then even in the cafeteria, they'd say bon appetit.
Okay.
Airport space.
The chefs felt that they had to do a good job. I don't think you will find SOS being served in Paris.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Remember, these are the people that could take the contents of World War II K rations, or whatever it was they called them, and turn them into the best meal that the GIs had ever had.
I'm in my hospital room and I'm trying to be alert. Making sure that someone's going to be putting a giant bomb above me, or below me, or outside the window, or.
Am I a guard again?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
We're not getting to enjoy the delights of Paris.
Not right now.
Not this time around.
Yeah.
As far as I know, you're the only guard right now. So.
Beautiful.
No falling asleep.
Don't
worry.
What are you complaining about, child?
It's going to be you and a bunch of mist.
Yeah, he's not gonna be visible. Oh,
Yes, he doesn't really need to be visible. So what is Simon doing right now?
Yes, what is that?
Simon is examining a knife.
Ah,
The weird one.
Uh-huh.
the one that got slimed.
Yeah. The one
Yes.
that no longer appears to be fully metal.
Right. He has a convenient alchemy lab at this point.
Yeah. Yes.
Probably renting a room somewhere or a suite.
Trying to remember what happened to that.
Somebody stuck it in the river Styx.
Oh, that's right.
To clean off
This, yes.
this slime.
Uh-huh.
And it did that?
I'm not certain it did.
Sort of.
Well, okay.
you
It
know,
is.
you
it
use
was-
with the blade.
yeah,
It is no. It is. There is no longer slime on it. There is that.
There is some sort of, it's like a skin coating on it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mysteries roll.
Yeah. So, is it seeing forming a fingernail?
What's my base time for this?
I'd say 15 minutes. An analysis of a weird.
Well, I'm willing to spend an hour on it.
That's awful. Yeah.
2 shifts. Yes. This is a weird way the steps go in that part of the chart.
And I really want to know.
Whoa!
Ah, there it is.
Godlike +2.
So it's somehow the slime got converted into something else, which is you're not really sure how, but it's like it's alive.
The whole knife is alive?
No, there's metal underneath there.
Okay.
It's just covered in this like sheath of living tissue.
Okay, Scott has forgotten.
Yeah.
Was it just the blade that ended up covered, or was it the whole knife?
I believe it's just the blade.
Yes.
Let's see.
Well, I'm really hoping that rumor I started in the
So,
bar will come to fruition.
What would what would happen if you tried to cut something with this thing?
It's not sharp anymore, really.
Right. Okay. That's
I
what
mean,
was
at the
thinking
end
about.
is kind of pointy still. You could maybe stab something with it. But as a knife, it's really not useful anymore. Unless, I mean, you could probably peel off but it's living tissue. Somehow it's alive.
Well, yeah,
It's obviously
it was,
not an intelligent life, but it's
It was undead slime, and it got stuck in the river Styx, and so it forgot it was dead. Therefore, it must be alive.
it's very baffling though. I mean, if you show this to Annie, she will she will
Annie has already had a glance
Yeah,
at
but
it, and she
she's-
didn't want to see it, and she didn't want to see
Oh,
anymore.
that's right. it is yes, it is very strange.
So, do you want to hang on to this thing?
Not I.
Okay. Would you mind if I did?
What's his knife?
Okay.
I don't know that unless there was something special about it to start.
No, I don't
with.
believe there
It's
was.
not. I didn't use the meteoritic iron one that's blessed and arcane.
No.
Did I? Good.
No.
Feel free to keep it. It'll be easy enough to pick up another average quality knife, the about the same length and width.
And cooperate.
Did you see the Kickstarter, Scott?
I don't know which Kickstarter you are referring to.
tomorrow I gotta send someone in to get all the special stuff I like to eat and drink. Specific kind of caviar. Specific kind of liqueur.
Mm,
To drop all the clues that, hey, didn't Len like all that stuff?
The special caviar with the
it has a
Polonium
handcrafted
glass.
nib that you can write either in the normal fashion, or if you invert it, you go from fine to medium or medium to broad.
Okay. And how much do they want for this thing?
It's 100 or something,
Okay.
115 altogether. I'm
Yeah.
actually thinking of bailing on it. I've got 29 days to go.
Is that a Kickstarter or a drop?
That's a Kickstarter.
Okay. Yeah, no. I'm not willing to spend that much money on a pen right now.
So I tell you what, Gar, you will stay awake. I'll stay awake during the night, and then in the morning I will sleep while you're guarding.
I was thinking
Hey.
it would look a little odd to have no guards at night. Trying, or shall we figure that only during visiting hours and a little bit around them is a guard really needed?
Well, you're not going to be. You don't have to.
Whoa.
It was suicide. I saw it.
And,
It's like this. You would want the guard. Well, you could more easily explain having the guard at night.
he's gonna have to stay awake all night. He can't do it and be awake in the day.
Not for very long. I mean, I can keep making endurance rolls, but eventually I roll too low. At least I don't think that stay as awake as long as you get well. Please, one isn't my repertoire yet. Nope, I've got Heal the Burn and Bounce Back, but not Dawn. I think it's called Tireless.
I believe you're correct.
So it's better off you were in the room sleeping and I'm just awake. Maybe they think that the guard's inside the room.
That's
Yes,
all.
you're a good
Which they
boy.
actually would be correct.
Yeah,
And
Sure.
then guarding inside the room.
right, as
So it's
opposed
on
to
board.
napping, but yes, then, during the period when there's more, more people around, including folks that might not be sanitarium staff, there's a very plausible guard at the door. At night when things are quieter, there isn't, but there, it would be a plausible assumption that there's a guard inside the room. Fine, we'll do it that way. If you need me at night, give me a nudge.
I have a problem. If someone throws in a grenade, I'll just throw you on top of it.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't give them ideas.
He hasn't already thought of that.
Yeah, we've got
Well, there are reasons
We've
why we
seen
don't
lots-
open the windows.
bigger things than grenades used already.
Yes. I mean, I hate to say this, but do you really think that given the success of that bomb in Switzerland, they'd go for a smaller explosion?
That was more or less what I was thinking also. If they do explosives at all, they're likely to go for something bigger. God's help us.
I mean,
Well,
That's
that was
true,
the second attempt.
which is-
but yes.
Which is why we turn on this.
Ah, that's
I
clever.
can't shoot anything, but they also can't make it go boom.
Fair enough.
That is true.
As
And-
long as they're within the range of it.
Yeah,
they'd have to
still.
do at least a 4-zone explosive.
And I don't need guns to be deadly.
And they would have to know. Neither of the two that did the explosive survived, did they? I'm fairly
No.
certain neither of them survived.
Neither one of them.
Neither of them survived, but
If
But they know
anybody
that-
else knew even part of the plan, they know there wasn't a really big explosion in that
No
clinic.
big boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if they go to look, they're going to find a disassembled bomb.
Hmm.
If they had gone to look, I assume it's been tidied up since then.
Yeah.
Which
the
just
police
means
are
our-
probably very curious about.
It was left in nice, tidy
which
bits.
is why they will almost certainly assume that the demolitions expert got to it.
The demolition
She
expert
did.
get to it.
Just after the fact.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. And in fact, I feel like knowing that guns and explosives won't work within the field of that thing when a would-be assassin doesn't know that would give a brief tactical advantage.
So I'm just reading the magazine,
Mm-hmm.
reading the newspaper. Saying a few words and phrases in Russian.
Okay.
And we've all already sent out food and drink orders.
No, probably not till tomorrow morning.
Okay,
It was late enough in the day that,
Ah.
that this evening. I mean, you
You
have
could
one
probably
meal.
assume that Simon's taking care of that in the morning.
If you'd be willing to play that
Sure.
sort of role again, go for it.
Yep. So evening goes by. It's nighttime. You are sleeping in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You
I-
are awake in the room.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have
Whichever
to.
way the door opens, I will be sleeping in a chair near the door, but on the hinge side. So if it opens like this, I'm back here. Just in.
You're behind the door when it opens.
You take damage when someone kicks it really hard. It swings around.
Well, that would wake me up at least.
It better. If it doesn't, we have a problem.
Granted. But I think the door whacking into the chair I'm sleeping in would probably wake me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So things happen during the night, but it's all like your temperature is taken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that. So nothing that seems hostile. It is the next day. It is
The 2nd of
the
February.
2nd of February, finally.
There's one downside to activating the anti-explosive device.
Mm-hmm.
We dare not turn it off. We don't know if someone's put a bomb upstairs or next door.
We don't dare turn it off without investigating
Exactly.
first.
So if Paris fails, are we going to go to Madrid, or are we going to go to London and try it again?
Personally, if Paris fails, I would be inclined towards the glum assumption that we have either not managed to fool ill, or he's so busy somewhere else he won't hear about it for weeks. I don't know. I don't know that it's worth continuing this particular ruse indefinitely.
we're eventually going to draw the attention of the Stalinist forces and
Other Russian factions.
other Russian factions,
beyond
even
what we have already.
the Tsarists, etc., and we're not going to know who we are killing or why they're trying to kill us. Well, no, they're going to try to kill you because
Because you're Lenin.
they think you're Lenin, yeah.
And
But,
in a disadvantaged position.
and
Yeah.
in a disadvantaged position, yeah.
But we might even end up killing off people that it would be better for the situation in Russia if they stayed alive.
We have to try and figure out when it's time to call this quits.
You want the plan C, D, whatever letter it would be.
No, whatever it would be.
Well,
I was
if
really
if we
tempted
had a
that time
solid
we
way of
could have got him by
identifying
time
ill.
traveling. It would have
Blood sample.
screwed up a bunch of other
As the
things,
person trying
but
to
I was
kill us.
tempted.
I understand your motivation. I actually approve of your motivation. But we're going to get to a point of diminishing returns. We're going to be killing off people who, well, maybe they do deserve killing off, but they're not going to be achieving our goal.
Well, I do not have my only other idea of getting ill is if we hire him.
You know, that actually has possibilities if we could do it through sufficiently good cutouts to fool him.
Now I can. Well,
That is probably the easiest way.
that is the only way I know of doing it, and we would have to find somebody who would be willing to hire ill, and then we would have to make ourselves appear as this person. And they would have
or
to have
as
the knowledge
Indians or employees of that person.
and we would have to have knowledge of how you would contact you, because I don't think this is the Yellow
Tricky,
Pages.
We would either, yeah, that's the challenge, but we would either have to be the person hiring him or the intended target. Or both.
Both would have plausibility problems.
No.
No?
No,
No,
for
no,
example, what if Dutch Schultz hires Ill to kill Al Capone?
And actually, both Dutch Schultz and Al Capone are disguised
Us.
members of our party setting up trap. Yeah. Oh, I'm
Now,
sorry.
mind you,
Right, yeah.
Dutch Schultz
Right,
and
yeah.
Al Capone didn't cross. Oh yes, they did. Dutch Schultz was in Chicago.
What was that?
I'm not that well up on
What was that
gangsters.
I don't actually know who that is.
Just a dog trying to get up and then utterly failing.
Well, her front paws were on my left thigh for a few moments, but beyond that, it didn't work out.
Did not.
Now settle down. I know I have a piece of fried pineapple as a stand. You're not yet. That's mine. It's the very last.
Not if I'm faster than you.
They have a longer reach, and hopefully I'm at least a little smart.
Just a little.
So now we need to find a likely target and someone who wants to kill the likely target.
Well, I didn't know what the target is. Jack.
That was one of the options, and
yeah.
it does make the disguise much easier.
Yeah, that's true. Disguising yourself as Jack would be, easier than some stuff you've done.
Okay.
That doesn't really work because there is no way for Ill to approach the persona of Shadow Jack. He doesn't exactly have a hangout. He doesn't exactly.
No one.
He just
He
disappears.
does spend some time in the New York City Century Club.
He does do that.
He has a room there. That's
But-
where his mailing address is.
Point.
but he also disappears for lengths of time.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of them.
But when he,
Yes.
you know, if he's having breakfast at the Century Club, he doesn't do it in stealth mode.
No.
Hard to get more coffee if the waiters can't even see.
Yes.
That's
The-
because
the-
I have the coffee pot. That's why.
The problem there becomes, Il knows Jack is out to get him.
Yep.
This does give Il a certain incentive to try and get to try and do him in first. On the other hand, he knows just how hard a target Jack is going to be.
Yeah, but if
So
somebody upped
who's-
his incentive by a few $1 million,
The question is, who's going to have that kind of incentive to have Jack killed?
Who else would want Jack that dead?
Yes,
we could make a list.
that are not already dead.
Well, true. That would cross off a significant fraction of them.
That's why you
Can
kill.
you think of anybody who's still alive?
I'm thinking.
That's why you kill them. You see, so they can't come after you.
Yes. His ruthless justice, unfortunately, for this scenario,
Unfortunately, yeah.
makes it a lot harder.
I think while
It
Jack
doesn't
would
make
be-
it impossible, I can tell you that.
Speaking of which,
Okay.
I'm still
While
short
Jack
a
would
lot
be an
of
ideal
aspects,
target
but I
in
think
many
about
ways,
Eddie's theory.
There's also the,
Right.
the
It was-
likelihood that
You're
Bill
in
would
for-
Right, you said that
Well,
last
time.
time.
Sorry.
Okay.
Could've
How
been.
about some of the people who the president is arresting? They might be mad at us for saving the
See what she
president's
wants to
life. How about that?
that could be. We could also sick them on the president. Sick him on the president.
I don't want to do that. We screw
Well,
up.
okay.
He's
tried.
already failed once there.
And failed to kill
Doesn't
the
seem
president.
interested at the moment.
Oh,
Okay.
which might drop the price.
Just put it on the floor.
Let's see now. Oh. Well, he actually would want to kill Jack, but Baron Henning von Kingloff
Gesundheit.
Who's that?
is a villain item, which I haven't
Okay.
had a chance to use. Gaming right now. But, somebody from work. That's his name, Henning von Kingloff. I'm like, I'm using your name, buddy. They're sticking Baron in front of it.
Yeah. Jack also has a higher probability of survival than most of the unwitting targets we could recommend.
Yes, which means Il might have to actually get a little bit closer to ensure that his nefarious plans succeed. And I might get him closer,
Yeah.
like within arm's reach.
Well, yes. He's not likely to get within arm's reach of Jack without what he thinks is a good enough disguise. Now, he might be wrong.
So there is the additional problem if he isn't too concerned about collateral damage.
Yeah.
Yes, he'll take out
Cross
an
my
entire
mind,
city,
yes.
a country, to get his target.
So having the target be in New York City seems like a recipe for.
Okay, I got the solution. We will go to the Century Club in Antarctica.
There is no Century Club
Not
in
yet.
Antarctica.
Not yet. We will build one.
Oh, okay.
No.
At the Justice League, you can have Justice League Antarctica, so can the Century Club.
We need
Yes.
we need a failed attempt on your life.
That's a good idea. That's a good
Somebody has to try to kill you in a more normal way,
Mm-hmm.
so that whoever is out to do it has to step up his game and hire Il.
plausible. Anyway.
So we have to be careful not to succeed on the
Well,
first
yeah.
Well,
but it has to be violent enough to actually be a hazard to you. And we need, well, we're gonna have to assume that Il is going to do his homework on whoever is going to hire him.
Yeah.
One would certainly expect him to.
So we need a really good choice of
Okay.
employer.
Well, I mean, you could go back through the listing of people you've gone up against who survived. Not a very long list. Find one who probably still has a lot of money.
Like say an Oriental guy in jail.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, he's
They would take it personal.
Besides
Okay.
which,
We got one of the Italian guys. Who
Yeah, I was gonna
was
say
thinking of-
How many of them are still alive?
one.
one.
these
Oh.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they might be a little perturbed at us. Jeez. Us.
I'm certain they are.
Or you. Or you.
I suspect there are leaders in Russia who are unhappy. And
When they find out. And
I'm not
what
sure
about-
they know enough to know who they're pissed at
Yeah.
at this
Well,
point.
that's just it. We have a way for them to find out.
Well, that's true. If we want to,
If we want to go
If-
that
I-
way.
I think
although
it's.
there's something to be said for not complicating Russian politics further right now. In fact, there are several somethings to be said
Okay,
for that.
was the trip through the caverns after the trip through the caverns, the trip through the Crystal Cave after the Italians was before protecting the president, wasn't it?
Yes.
yes,
Glad somebody has better notes than me.
I'm not going to the notes, but there's my recollection as we.
Yes, you are correct.
That means I need to go find
Oreo is
the
not
other
making
notebook.
trouble right now. You don't have to start it.
Because one of them was Fat Sal, and I forget who the other one was, and I don't remember which one we killed.
You killed Big Tony.
Big Tony. So Fat Sal, who was the actual higher up,
Mm-hmm.
is the one who's still alive.
Okay. Now that makes him, that makes
There's
him a
also-
plausible employer.
Various people that may decide to go after Jack because they don't feel that such and such deserved death.
Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't
true.
matter whether they did or not.
But for a friend or ally of someone Jack has,
Daughter,
Knocked off.
son.
yep, good point.
So you could look at heirs to his victims. There are probably one or two of those.
Well, I like the Italian guy. He'd be really mad at us. And
They got vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they were
Fat Sal
a
would be.
plausible person to start off by sending goons with guns.
Yeah.
That would be the usual MO. One would be.
Well, okay. Fat Sal probably knows enough to send.
Be
A
fairly
mercenary company with guns.
Sure. Or a fairly high level lieutenant and the best sharpshooters he can find, or something.
Yeah.
But yes, not just ordinary goons with ordinary guns,
Right.
granted, but still. Trying to just gun him down first would be a very plausible MO.
Mm-hmm.
oh boy, Christmas presents in February. Cool.
I am reminded of some someone else who's never so cheerful as when someone has just tried to kill him.
And who was that?
Rorschach?
Short, charming, very clever.
Right. Miles Borkosigan.
Oh,
What you gonna say? Who went to Cody?
I was thinking Watchmen.
Yeah, I saw some advertisement for the HBO version.
Of,
HBO bought Watchmen twice.
Oh yeah.
oh,
They're gonna do a live action Watchmen. Maybe they'll get it better than they did in the dumb movie.
the movie was different, but I don't think it was bad.
It had one part that was not there that was very important. And because of that, it really detracted from the movie. And since I know Watchmen real well, the one part is when, after Night Owl and Silk Spectre break him out of jail,
Mm-hmm.
he goes back to his apartment to get a spare costume.
Mm-hmm.
He runs into his landlady. The very landlady who on TV said that he tried to proposition her all the time. Now this is Rorschach, and he's right in front of her. What do you think he would do?
Don't know. the
Well,
character
he's
quite
much
well enough.
in the spirit of Jack with the ruthless justice sort of thing.
Yes, but so he makes a comment. He said, "How much did they pay you to lie about me?" And I'm not going to skip the last word because we're on video. And she goes, "Please, my children don't know." And he looked at them and he remembered, guess what his mother was.
Yeah.
And so he goes, "Well, we got what we came for. Let's leave." He showed mercy.
Uh-huh.
He did not want to murder this woman in front of her children.
Mhm.
And you see, you would think that Rorschach would never do that, Mr. Black and White, right? But he did. He showed the advanced emotion and trait of mercy. It shows that he's not a complete monster.
Mhm.
Okay.
He is
I
insane.
see
He is
that.
insane, but he's not a complete monster.
Yes.
What he does is he takes hold of. He's ruthless on really evil people,
Mhm.
not on people who make bad choices. It's just because you make a bad choice, like you take money to lie on TV, doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. And they didn't put that in the movie,
Mhm.
and that was, in my opinion, a big mistake.
Because it's important from a character point of view. Yeah. Unfortunately, movie and TV adaptations are known for cutting out that sort of stuff and just sticking to the bones of the main plot.
Well,
And it would be very difficult to carry that off in the movie setting.
this is in Sin City. The section with Bruce Willis, he's doing his role, and he goes, "You know what? I'm having a problem with this scene." And he's going, "Oh, great. He wants to change it." He says, "No, I think we got to make it more like the graphic novel."
Okay.
I was like, he's like, "Wow, I was expecting that." Okay, not to twist my arm.
So,
Kevin,
Shall
what's the stunt that lets you not die off camera?
Oh,
That's an endurance.
Yeah,
stunt.
Defiance.
Yeah.
Endurance?
No, it's under endurance.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking everywhere except endurance.
No, it's this went right by it.
Death Defiance, page 146. Characters ever taken out away from the view of other characters, and death appears imminent, certain, or absolute, such as from dropping off a cliff, blah, blah, blah. Then a coincidence will conspire to keep the character alive. This stunt does not protect the character from dying on camera.
And it does suck up half your fate points.
Half
and
your
you must have
remaining
a-
fate points rounded up. You must have at least one to do this.
Yep.
Mhm. So if you're all out of fate points, you're screwed. We watch play and think of a good explanation for how he survived. Once he has a story, he may re-enter play in any subsequent scene in as dramatic a fashion as he sees fit.
Mm.
All of the physical stress cleared and a single consequence to reflect the dangers survived.
So Karkin has this done.
of course.
That's entirely plausible.
And this is really based on serials who have
Yes.
certain, it's like certain death.
Yes.
And then the next episode,
Explosion and or falling
Yeah.
off a cliff or whatever.
and then
Then the next episode, oh, he got out of the room just before the explosion, or he grabbed onto a tree branch that was sticking out of the cliff,
he
or
jumped out of the car before it went off the cliff.
yes.
You know, and
Mhm.
You can never see them fall in that long shot anyway. Anyway.
I don't know, long shot a gun stuff.
And yes, there, many of that sort of thing was sort of based on that Sherlock Holmes Reichenbach Falls thing
Yeah.
as an idea. It's like, oh, we thought we saw you die, but I didn't die. This is how I survived. And
I put the shoes on backwards. Yeah, like that's gonna work.
Oh, he walked back.
No, he put the shoes on backwards and walked out with them. Otherwise, he'd have trouble seeing where he stepped.
how do you put shoes on backwards, though?
Exactly.
Very
Hagrid's
not
Gambit?
really
I may be wrong.
There's always there's always the Hack Rider's Gambit.
Not because
That's one.
He walked backwards because that was in something else. Because
Having escaped certain death at the hands of the Indians,
Shall we go back to our
Johnny
game?
was riding down the riding his horse into the sunset.
well,
So,
okay.
it's the morning of the
Others
second.
don't even
It's the morning of the
specify.
second, and
okay, so
we're having this.
see, I'm still awake because I could fight it for a while. So the doctor and the nurse come in.
What's
and-
this?
Well, it's, well, okay. Well, Big Sal is a good candidate to kill Jack. So is Al Capone.
Why does Al have it in for him?
Well, not yet.
Why
He
not?
will. but
Oh, okay.
He will in a while. If you want.
The question is, how much longer do we keep up this facade, or do we let Lennon die and
No, we have Lennon
Disappear.
Disappear.
Okay.
And
or he could reappear as needed.
that-
Reappear fully healed and you know,
Mm-hmm.
someplace in the world. I don't know where.
Mhm.
Or pick Antarctica.
I would say if he disappears before noon, that significantly reduces the chance of somebody blowing the place up.
Good point.
You've got the device, right?
I will admit to being a little concerned about the, let's try a larger bomb possibility. But,
A 2-zone bomb is a really big bomb.
yeah.
You see, the next thing I would do is I would drive a big truck outside the building right where I am and boom.
Well, there is that. I mean, there is the fuel, oil, and fertilizer in the back of a truck sort of thing.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
Now the question is, do we just pack up and move on and drop the disguises?
That would be my vote. Just leave it a total mystery.
Were
what
you
happened.
going to suggest a more complicated alternative?
There we go. From Paris, we're going to have a plane to nice socialist-leaning Spain, and
Ah,
somewhere along the
the
way on the
plane will
train.
simply not show up.
No, we take the train. It's
Right.
more pleasant
Yeah.
going through the Andes
Right,
that
but,
way, the Pyrenees that way. But somewhere along the way, we just
Disappear.
stop being these
Uh-huh.
people.
So we gotta give this a few days here, though. We gotta
Okay.
let people figure out that where we are, and then come up with a plan that's gonna fail, and then implement the plan that's gonna fail.
We could do that, or we could just have decided that this was a way stop on the way to Madrid or somewhere else. However, I'm flexible.
Well,
As long as I stay alive, I'm good.
As long as I stay alive and we're not getting innocent bystanders killed, I'm good.
Well, it would have to be a really frickin' big bomb.
There are other
To
ways to kill.
Yes.
Yeah. I was
There are-
thinking rather
Well,
than
their
bigger
first
bomb.
attempt was not a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like
I'm
howitzer.
thinking that although
Shot howitzer once before.
there are certainly standards by which warfare is supposed to be conducted, such that we never repeat the chemical weapons and such, someone who isn't so socially conscious might decide that releasing mustard gas all through Paris is a
or
way
even
to-
just all through this building.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
And
that
there
matter-
are worse substances than mustard gas that never got used.
Heck, there's even one worse that did phosgene or
Phosgene
was
Phosgene.
was harder, more toxic and more difficult to take any precautions against.
Yeah, see, this is Jack speaking up. During World War One, during the Great War,
Great War.
Germans underestimated how effective gas was. When they actually deployed it for the first time, it was devastating,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't mobilize to take advantage of it. So they lost this huge opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And they made this big window, and it's like,
They weren't prepared for success.
no.
Yeah, well.
Although the nations have vowed to never use it again.
Well, Hitler never used it. He got gas. He didn't like that, so he extended the gas.
Hitler, isn't he some minor politician somewhere?
Right at this
The corporal?
time, he's in Lansdorf prison.
Okay.
Who is?
Hitler.
Hitler.
Okay.
The beer hall pushed to 1923, or is that going to be this fall?
No, I don't think it's 1923.
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
In any case,
In any case,
not someone I would necessarily know.
Al is currently a boxing promoter in Chicago.
Ah,
Al Capone.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I still say Big Sal is the biggest.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think.
For him, he would be really mad at us, and he would be really mad at Jack, especially if he found out that Jack.
He's still alive as far as you guys know. I mean, you haven't heard of him dying.
Yeah.
Because he is a shadow, you guys figured that out. Even though you took away his house and drove him out of his city,
He still
he's
has
still got
a list.
resources on his pyramid. So
Yeah, right.
you can't make him be poor.
He must have met.
So he would still have a lot of
Yeah.
money.
He was at he came to did a speech earlier this year.
Well, that was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
23.
22.
22? Okay.
Oh, no, 23, you're right. 23.
February 2nd, 1924. Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
is 24.
Just-
So we either have to entice Big Sal to want to kill Jack.
Fat Sal. Fat
Fat
Sal,
Sal.
Big
Right.
Tony.
Right, that's it.
Which one's which?
Fat
Fat
Sal,
Sal.
Big
Fat
Tony.
Sal.
Bad Sal.
Big Tony's dead.
Yeah. All you gotta do is tell Sal how Tony died.
Yen Lee killed him.
Yeah, but who delivered him? As a prize note saying, "Here you go."
Not point. Getting that piece of information would certainly be an extra gold to Vendetta.
Well, it would be setting up a rumor. Which, yeah, I'm not quite the liar of John Doe, but I'm pretty good.
Oh, especially this one.
Well, you don't need to be, it's contacting that deceit. Because you'd be actually telling the truth. You'd be letting it be known that you delivered Big Tony to Yen Lee so that she could kill him.
And if Big Sal goes after Yen Lee, darn, what a shame.
But
I
she's such a
gotta-
sweet, innocent young girl.
I bet
For
on
an
Yen
anaconda.
Lee if I had to bet. Big
For
Sal
an
versus Yen Lee.
I would bet on Yenli finishing Sal and then figuring out who caused it to happen and going after them.
Possibly.
Well, so you know that Fat Sal,
Mhm.
people keep calling him
Fat
Big Sal,
Sal.
but it's Fat Sal, is old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's probably 100 years older than you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's got to be in decline.
Mm-hmm.
But shadows and centurions, as they age, they keep accumulating fate points, aspects, and stunts. And he survived the group trying to kill him. I mean, he had to run away because you killed all of his lieutenants, all of whom were also kind of old, but he survived.
Well, one reason I remember that happened was people in here did a lot of bumbling.
Well,
Not Jack.
your execution wasn't perfect. Yes, the group's execution was not perfect.
I was going to say that as long as he can identify Jack is the apparent leader of the group that kicked him out of his mansion,
Mm-hmm.
that's sufficient. That's probably sufficient motivation.
Could well be. Kicked him out of his mansion and killed off a bunch of his guys.
Yeah.
See,
I
now
mean,
you're not
people
actually trying to get
more
Fat
important
Sal
than
to
your
come
property.
after you.
No.
What you're trying to do is justify why Fat Sal is coming
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you.
Right.
So, I mean,
We have justification.
yeah.
Yeah.
It might not be public knowledge, but yes, you can spread the rumor. Oh, Fat Sal has found out that it was Shadow Jack who was in that group, who was, spearheading the attack on him. And
Handed Big Tony over to
to Yan Li. So it doesn't matter if Fat Sal never finds this out. What you want is just a generally known rumor
Mhm.
To that effect,
We-
as opposed
we
to
want-
keeping it to yourselves,
Right.
basically.
We want it, really plausible and sort of widely known that Fat Sal hates our guts and
doesn't-
has reason for coming after Jack.
doesn't need to
especially.
be especially well known because we know that Il is very methodical and very good at his research.
So, isn't he going to find out? Isn't he going to contact the real Fat Sal?
That is an issue.
Yeah, you guys don't really know where Fat Sal is.
Yeah, I think the plan only works if we kill Fat Sal and pretend to be him. And then we spread the rumor, and
And he doesn't seem to like that.
and then you see Il approaches Fat Sal and says, "Hey, how would you like to pay me to kill this guy?" Two for one for him because he gets rid of Jack and he gets paid for it.
I will agree that the real Fat Sal couldn't screw up our plans by saying, "Nah, I hate his guts, but that's sort of on the back burner right now," if he weren't around to say it. And he's not such a nice guy that I'd shed any tears. But making killing him off just a piece of the plan is making it a pretty big and elaborate plan.
The real hazard in killing off Fat Sal is that it will take so much effort that it'll be known.
That could be certainly
The other
possible.
problem
But,
is
So
he
much
is
different than our part, you think?
yes.
It will be it'll make enough noise that people will know that Fat Sal is dead.
Not necessarily.
No.
He has he has a reputation for surviving certain death, I believe.
We just have to turn around right before he goes.
Everyone close your eyes! Put the lens cap on the cameras!
Nor we us gets disguised as
Right.
him, and then he makes another miraculous escape like last time when his mansion got trashed. You know, he's busy, getting those giraffe suits again.
If we can track him, down, and he's not someplace where we have to fight our way through whole armies of Indians.
See, here's
to get
the other thing. If we can't find Fat Sal,
Ill could.
how likely is it that ill could?
He could do it.
I don't
Bill
know.
has better context in that segment, I would guess.
Yeah.
It
We'll have
has
to at least
appropriate
And
contacts.
he's
Yeah.
a crook. This guy's a crook. I mean, come on. They got that going for him.
Yeah, that doesn't always work out. But
No,
I
but
checked
their
the
their
bulletin board.
grapevines are likely to overlap.
their contacts are very likely to overlap, yes.
Okay.
I'm running out
I'm
of
more
ideas to
con-
get out. That's the trouble.
I do like the idea of Ill being hired to get rid of Jack.
That
How-
could actually work.
How difficult would it be instead to find out what his next target is? To start laying
Ranging
the
from moderately difficult to flat out impossible, depending on what his next target is
We-
and who
We would be
pointed
guessing.
him at it, if anyone.
We don't have somebody inside his organization, if he has an organization.
he doesn't seem to. He
He's
tends
he's
to
a-
recruit some sucker
So
and
we then
utilize
either
them.
abandon them or make sure they
Yeah.
they get
You know,
So
They
we would
turn
be
out
guessing,
bad.
and of world leaders, which of the roughly 500 do we protect, or do we watch?
Okay.
And that's just world leaders.
yeah. If somebody
you know,
can come
leaders
up,
of industry.
Mm,
You know,
He may take a dislike to Henry Ford. We don't know.
he would
Well,
be
plus
first
the
one.
very first time you guys encountered him, he wasn't going after a world leader. He was trying to extort the city of New York.
Mhm.
He was going to send a letter to them saying, if you do not give me some very large sum of money,
Mhm.
I am going to poison the water supply and thousands of people will die. And he had set up to do that too. So,
yeah, we accidentally screwed that up.
yes.
Okay. So finding his next target would be miraculous. It'd be great if we could, but it would be miraculous.
No, you have to.
So we have.
Oh,
to
and
guide
the
him
time,
to a target.
the biggest thing he ever pulled off, not by himself, but he was assisting somebody else, was the Spanish flu.
Right.
So,
That kid millions.
yeah, tens of millions of people died. So you have never figured out exactly why he did that. No one knows what his motivation was.
The horrible thing is that for all we know, it could have been a test of his custom virus crafting technique that got slightly
No.
out of
He
hand.
probably just wanted to kill one person in disguise.
Possibly.
Well,
I could see him going for that large a
I've-
scale if that looked like the best plan.
I'm under the impression that that he was we know he was the assistant here. So why it was that they were doing the Spanish flu was
Could have
his
been-
mentor.
Yeah, that's plausible too, but we're, I believe, in the dark as to the identity of the mentor, so that
Yeah.
doesn't help us much. Anyway, yeah, trying to figure out his next target before he does anything lethal, that's a tall order. Be nice if we could. But,
No, we have to do his thing.
mm-hmm. Set up a target that looks plausible, and
Well, he need to have a target that he wouldn't mind taking out, and he need to pretend to be a client who also would like to
Mhm.
take out
Yeah.
the target.
We're back here again, aren't
Yeah.
we?
That's the general outline of the plan we already had. What was funny? Did you think of something new?
Well, I thought, how about Jack hires him to kill Karkin?
Too many in
Well,
the
that's
group
sort
would
of
consider that a win-win.
I was gonna say that's sort of tempting. That even if the plan goes wrong, Karkin might turn up dead.
However, that would not be a good thing.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, we
Well, Karkin's a hero now. Come on. Have you not read the newspapers?
Don't remind me. I saved his life.
I can think of one person who dislikes ill that has methods that are very unusual and might be more effective than any we are aware of.
Yeah.
Sluggo.
but does he have the interest?
Ill has threatened his Dino Men twice.
Yes, he killed a few of them when he was there last.
Yes, there was actually a plague that was killing off the dinosaur man.
In which case, he might not. Hey.
Hey!
He might not bestir himself to do anything active, but if he even has information we don't that might be relevant and useful, I don't see much to lose by trying to ask him about it.
True. That is true. What I really want to get to is a refresh.
I have fewer fate
You
points
have
than
tons
you
of fate
do.
I
points.
know, but I'm also loyal to my team here, and
Point.
there's a certain decrease in numbers that might make things more complicated.
I would
Well,
say
you have to end an adventure to get to a refresh, and
Yeah.
if you continue on,
I would say that if Lennon and party mysteriously
Yes, that would be a
disappear
refresh.
while we're on a train,
end of
and
the
we
Lennon
head back
stuff.
to New York from there, that should trigger a refresh. We can continue plotting how to finally
What
get
train do you
Ill.
want to leave on?
That's a
Actually,
larger-
we talked about having Lennon go to New York and then disappear.
Yeah, that would work too. I'm
Madrid
not thinking-
feels
That's
more plausible for
that's a
why
very
I would
long
go to
journey.
Madrid first. What?
You go to Madrid first. And then from there, he goes to New York.
Good.
That's a very long journey.
What if he never makes it to the boat?
Okay.
That's a point.
Or he
Madrid
gets on
is
the
far
boat.
inland.
do we
Yeah.
know where we left our plane? You didn't take, or did you not take the plane this time? You took the
We took-
airship.
We took the airship.
The airship, but with the booster on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's right. You decided it was taking too long to decide how to take the plane, and you just decided to put something on the engine to make it go fast,
Mm-hmm.
and so you zipped across the Atlantic.
We do have a. We
But
do
that
have
was
a
the pre-
small
that-
plane in England.
But that was the previous sub.
Yes.
So the booster's not currently there.
So,
Or Annie in
So
her
I would
spare
like you guys
time
to
is
decide on what
probably
you're going to do, because this
Yeah.
is taking way too long.
Granted.
it's taking way too long because no one wants to make a decision.
No,
Oh,
it's
I-
not
I
want
can't
to,
make
we
a
don't
decision
want
for
to
you
make
guys.
a decision. We've
I
got a lot of
I say we
options.
stay in Paris for a few days, and then hopefully they catch up to us. If
Okay.
they don't, we go to Madrid and we stay there for a few days, and no one catches up to us. Lennon gets accidentally seen getting on a boat for the United States, and then he disappears.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Define few.
2.
3, I think, is a few. I don't
All
think
right.
two.
Technically, it's
Two-
3.
3 days.
Okay.
3 days, so maybe a week. And then a
Total.
week in
Yeah.
Paris,
Between the-
week in Paris, week in Madrid.
Okay.
What else is happening that is we're putting off fixing by doing this?
There's
Well,
that.
let's see
Are
now.
any fiancés going to get bent out of shape at the delay?
Yes.
As far as I know, there's only
Harris is expecting you know Jack back in just a couple of days.
That's why I'm getting her that cognac.
Uh-huh.
Well,
We believe that the threat under the water down in Florida is taken care of.
Right.
Yes.
For the immediately
Um,
foreseeable future.
You have taken care of the vampires in Paris.
Paris.
Indeed.
That we stumbled
Why do I
into.
keep on thinking about Warren Zevon?
Okay. Getting back to the passage of time,
Mm-hmm.
the doctor is going to go get breakfast.
Okay.
I guess I will stay while you go off. Do that.
I
The
will.
patient's going to grab some Z's while you guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I don't know whether to hope for something interesting happening or not. Whether or not it does is probably
Okay.
not dependent on what I hope for.
When I wake up, I'll mention this idea.
Of course, I leave the explosive suppressant in the room active.
Yes. And anyone who thinks that such and such a legitimate medical task requires discharging a firearm or setting off even a small explosion, we want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen. No one's going to think, hey, I need to fire this pistol in the room to test his reflexes. That's not going to happen. No. Okay. So the day goes by. You
Okay.
order. You send Simon out for all those things that you know Lennon likes the most. Simon tries to spread a rumor.
Yeah.
When he's out there doing that,
Mm-hmm.
you want to roll your contacting.
Are we going to check food and drink for radioactivity or assume they wouldn't try that one twice?
It would not be bad to check it for
Wouldn't be a
radioactivity.
bad idea.
Yeah, there it is.
Has Annie got anything handy that
I swapped rings.
Rick or I could use?
Okie dokie.
That's. It would be nice if it was better, but fantastic.
Okay.
A simple, not a scintillation, it's a Geiger counter.
Mm-hmm.
There's an actually, it's a fluorescent. That's right. It makes use of fluorescence.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they
no alpha
usually
particles
need a-
coming off that.
Right. They usually need a completely dark room for a moment, but that's or the sort of mini dark room setup photographers who travel use.
Well, there's also the one that's inocular in an
electroscopes.
eyepiece.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're making your own dark room.
Point. Yep. And I'm sure Annie has an electroscope she could lend us. That's not so sophisticated. She'd only have one of it or have trouble replacing one.
Or do we have a scintillation counter handy? A Geiger counter.
No.
No.
Not that I
No.
remember.
We haven't invented that for them yet.
I have them all through the airship. That's how we discovered that it was radioactive. Is my security system went off when I brought the flask up.
Gotcha.
But no, I don't have a portable radiation detector written down on my sheet anywhere, nor have I previously.
Have any spares for your security system?
That would be up to the GM.
Well, put it this way. All the food that gets made for me by the hospital,
us.
I'm not eating.
Mm. Yes, that's
We've
a
always
reasonable
got the
precaution.
we've got the Khrushchev approach. A sausage and a block of cheese. A big sausage and a block of cheese. When he stayed at the White House.
Not that difficult to tamper
I
with
don't
a
know.
sausage and
Nikita
hardly
Khrushchev back in
impossible to
1962.
tamper with
Was
a
that
block of cheese
concerned about someone
visibly.
tampering
Yeah.
with this? Okay.
Yeah, he was
Well,
pretty paranoid.
considering
You'd think he
some
was
of the
Russian or
things that
something.
we did in the time period, it isn't totally unreasonable.
So you're setting the tradition with a sausage and a block of cheese.
We're in Paris. We can do better than that.
Good cheese.
Very good cheese.
And very good sausage, probably.
Oh yeah.
Sausage is more German.
It's also Belgian too.
Well, how the
No,
I suspect how the French deal with
no bones
Deal
on my
with
pants anymore.
the
Thank you very
best,
much.
the best sausage comes from Germany or Belgium. It's okay, import it.
Probably have them here already.
Yes, that's what I mean. It would be easy to find good sausage if we want to, but this is definitely side dish.
Just use a universal gadget. Detect radiation, detect poison.
Point. Can we plausibly have the same one do both, or does
That's
that?
what
Yeah,
he
I
just
can.
said.
That's
two
what I
functions.
just
Okay.
specified.
Yes, sure.
Oh,
You
right.
can give
yes.
2 advances to a universal gadget.
Right. Sure.
Sorry, there's no bullets.
Too caught up in the words to not realize that I had given it in game terms.
Yep. Trying to come up with details rather than just specifying the necessary amount of hand waving.
With an adequate amount of hand waving, we have the device.
Okay, good. So we've got a portable radiations and
Poison
chemical
detector.
poisons detector, and we can check food or drink.
And it's highly likely that if radiation goes off, both will go off.
Yeah.
Most radiation sources are also poisonous.
True.
I'm not certain that they all are.
Now I can think of two examples.
I can think of one offhand that is not a chemical poison.
Okay.
Radon.
Yeah, it's completely inert. So
Noble gas.
that chemical.
Yes.
Well, as long as you're not messing around with
Fluorine.
it's pretty much chemically inert. I was thinking of two others. Carbon-14, which admittedly is not radioactive enough to be used as a weapon in most circumstances, and tritium, which being hydrogen is, can be incorporated into all sorts of
Yes,
chemicals.
to get enough radiation from carbon-14, you basically just have to drop a brick of it on it.
Or make sure all the carbon atoms in his food and drink were carbon-14, which would be hard to pull off.
Are we going with ridiculous ways to kill people? Is that what's happening?
No,
we-
just
we-
this idea.
We had to do something while we were waiting for you.
We're discussing radiation sources.
Okay.
Because,
So-
yeah.
The game mechanics end of it is we have a small portable detector for both radiation and chemical poisons that we can check food
Where
and
did we
drink
get
with.
this?
And he pulled out a universal gadget.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has one of those in the back pocket,
All right.
Standard issue Russian.
Yes, of course.
You can tell because it has Russian words on it.
Yes, I'm sure.
All
Made in
of the
Russia.
all of the labeling is in Cyrillic.
All right.
Appropriate Cyrillic.
So, you picked up a bunch of food and beverage
Mhm.
from a Russian grocery store that you
Yep.
found, or that Annie told you where it was.
Right.
Well, your contacting is actually high enough that you can probably
Oh,
pull it
that's
off
true.
on yourself.
Well, but Simon doesn't have
The walk.
walk the walk.
Right. So
So he would, yeah.
Yeah, -1. Not the best place to get Russian.
Simon never lived in Paris, right?
No.
No. It was China and the U.S. are the two countries
Yep.
that he spent.
I
Time.
take 2 time shifts and
Spent
then
time
get
in
here
Paris
some.
during the war.
Yeah, I mean, many of the characters did because they were part of the Great War, but I don't think Simon was really. I mean, he was off doing his mystical Chinese stuff at that
Yes.
point in time.
Yep.
Dealing with the Japanese.
Yes.
I think all of us except Simon and maybe Annie have been in Paris before this
Well-
group got together, as well as more than once since.
Annie
but-
has spent time all over the
Over the
world.
Right, yes,
Mm-hmm.
effectively, yes.
So 2 time shifts to bring it up to fair because I rolled poorly.
Wow.
Well, my contacting isn't that high up on the pyramid.
Well, maybe it would be better for Simon to do it then.
Well,
Um,
that's fair for walk the walk. Or
Yes, but you would just have a -2 on whatever you rolled on your contacting.
Okay, that's true.
So
And my base contacting for these purposes is epic.
See,
Mhm.
so you're not going to be rolling fair.
Yeah,
I'm unlikely to be rolling fair.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I
see
cannot
how
roll
I
fair.
think
Yes,
good would
good
be the
would be the
worst,
worst
you
I
could
could roll.
possibly do. Okay.
So, searching for an appropriate grocery store.
why
would
would
be
anyone come to Paris to
superb.
get Russian food?
If you're Russian, you'd do that. What
This
was
is
the result?
Superb.
Is that after the -2?
That's after the no. So the -2 would actually take me down to good.
Well, it's better than fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is in fact what you needed to find a Russian grocery store.
Okay.
And then, but we've already gone through you.
Yes.
You
Buy stuff.
Bought a bunch of stuff, and you tried to spread the rumor that Lennon
Yep.
was in the sanitarium.
Mhm.
He's in. So,
Yes.
you bring the stuff back.
Mhm.
And all of it'll be completely
Oh,
innocuous.
and you also did the same thing with the magazines and newspapers
Yep.
that you did.
Yeah.
In Switzerland.
And,
That
and
is
all,
my assumption. At least.
right.
Yes.
And all of this food and drink will be completely innocuous because nobody's had time to set
Yeah,
it
nobody's had
up.
time to really set up. They're not going to set it up at every single Russian grocery store in the city of Paris.
Procedure.
Yes. You want to get that. Baseline down.
That means they would have had to have set it up at every single Russian grocery store in Europe.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well,
if they don't know.
Jack already started a rumor
There is that. Yes.
the previous night.
Okay.
So in Paris, so they
So
would have had a
certainly
few
could have
hours to.
Russian agents
yeah.
in Paris.
Yeah, getting the message back to Moscow, and Moscow replying.
Depends on how much local autonomy they have to go after a target of opportunity. Well, that's true. In this
Lenin
case,
is the
they-
target of opportunity.
Yeah, in this case, it'd be a question of, we better ask headquarters.
How extreme do we want to get?
All right.
Unless following the debacle in Switzerland, they sent out to all of their instructions to all of their section chiefs.
If Lenin or someone appearing to be him turns off him,
Right.
which is possible.
Which is possible.
We may find out. In which case, given that contingency, maybe we better check the stuff I'm wrong.
Well,
I
you're checking.
said I
She
was
said she
Okay,
checking.
yeah,
And he
so
did check
I
it.
missed that.
for you know,
Poison and
poison and radioactivity.
Okay.
Yep.
All okay
And
on
all of
that
the
front.
publications and all been checked.
Because poison ink is a thing too.
Yep.
Yes, nothing seems to be bad.
Good.
All of the stuff that Simon or whatever name he's going by right now brought back is fine.
Okay. Not surprised.
All clear, Mr. Lennon.
Good. So the day goes by uneventfully.
Yay.
Does anybody want to do anything special on Saturday, February 2nd?
I'm laying in bed.
I'm busy guarding the door.
No.
No.
No, I can't leave. That would be bad. I'm supposed to be wounded and recovering.
No.
Ill.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be sick and recovering,
Sick or
not
recovering.
wounded.
Um,
Okay, it is the evening. It is the night of the 2nd. Are we
I've been-
basically doing the same thing as the previous night, which is Edgy sleeps in the room, Jack stays awake because he was able to get sleep during the day. The doctor and nurse go off to a hotel or whatever, as
Go
does
off.
Simon's liaison.
That works for me.
Mm-hmm.
That works for me.
Have a
Okay.
drink on my
Yeah.
behalf.
I'm studying this decadent jazz music and alcohol.
Okay, good for you. Wow, you're already, in that communist mindset.
Been playing Lennon's personal physician for a bit. His head's starting to get it.
Oh yes, and dancing.
Yes.
I don't think they stopped dancing in.
No, but they weren't dancing like this. Yeah.
Are you doing either ballroom dancing or country peasant dancing?
No, some of the dance styles that went with jazz might well have caught on.
Not in Russia yet, I don't
That.
think.
In France?
No, not in Russia.
Right.
He's being the Russian doctor
Yeah.
investigating these
Yeah.
Things
decadent,
like
Yes.
choices.
decadent capitalistic capitalist habits.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Nothing happens on the night of the 2nd.
Okay.
It is the 3rd.
Yay.
Yay.
Good.
We have all survived to the 3rd.
And it isn't February 2nd. Yeah.
Yes, it was Warren Zevon.
Werewolves of London.
Yes.
What about Werewolves of London?
Every
Just
time he
sort
said
of
Vampires in
vague.
Paris, I kept on thinking Warren Zevon.
Ah, yes. Werewolves of London.
So anybody doing anything special on the 3rd of February?
During part of the day, then we have to arrange transport to what's the next step?
Madrid.
Okay, so I will go off and do that.
Okie dokie.
Contacting?
Contacting.
Not a terribly
you
high
want
bar.
to do it.
So you're taking a train from Paris to Madrid.
That I believe was the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Not
the theory.
sure.
And the train is what you're leaving on the 4th?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. I was going to say
Steve is falling asleep over there, so
Wait, 2:30. So hey,
Mm.
3 in the morning. That is.
Yeah.
Well, Jack is sitting reading the paper, reading magazines, and he's just wondering another day or two, and we'll go. I think what we ought to do is we ought to stage a fake attack if no one shows up.
okay.
That would lend credence that someone attacked the place and so we moved.
granted.
All right. Yeah, I mean, the last time somebody attacked where you were, you then cleared out fairly quickly.
So how do we do a plausible looking attack that doesn't
I used
doesn't
2
actually
additional
risk?
time shifts to get up to good.
Okay.
Probably
Finding the
don't
train
even need-
station is
yeah.
not, you don't really need good for that. You
But-
could have done it without using time shifts, is what I'm saying. So you probably found the train station.
What
Yeah,
she
sooner
really
than
did
me.
was get a couple of croissants.
Oh.
Even that.
I mean, you didn't
and
find the
finding
train station and then
train
keep
station.
searching for the train station, I'm hoping.
I was thinking, go through the schedules, figure out what would best fit our plan,
Okay.
and select.
That'd be academics as much as contacting. Figuring out wouldn't be figuring out a schedule for something.
Because
be
we
academics?
probably want a private car.
Oh, sure.
Or at least first class compartment.
If we were just go, a first class.
A private
First class,
car.
first class compartment would be a little cramped for appropriate on
First class compartment would be less secure than a
Yes.
private car.
That is true.
Definitely. That, yes. And
You
between
both are
that,
extremely decorated.
cramped
We-
and just
we
not
want
as
a private
comfortable.
I don't suppose Annie has a Vickers.
Laurel's finally
Gun.
watching the stream. Hello, Laurel.
I don't suppose Annie has a Vickers machine gun up in Cloud 9. No, okay.
At least
Just
not
out
a
of
Why a
curiosity,
specific type of
why do you-
machine gun?
Because they were about the only one at the time.
Not a Lewis
Okay.
gun.
Yeah, the Lewis gun. I forgot about the Lewis gun.
I also have a BAR. I have those too.
As
yeah,
near as I
but
can
they
tell,
don't
I still have
the,
three charges
they're
of Rebel
not belt
Creation.
fed and consequently can throw a whole bunch of bullets through the window.
That could
They
definitely
throw one big bullet through the window. I mean, if you're going after a sniper is attacking us versus,
Well, if we want to do a sniper attack, I've got the Nagant.
resources, I suppose, too, right?
if you're trying to reserve a private car, yes, you do need to make a resources roll.
You did hear me say I have 3 charges of Rebel Creation.
yes.
Robo create.
Rubble!
Rubble
Roll
creation.
creation.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Remember those explosives that I
suspect-
modified to create rubble?
Yeah, that's right.
I suspect I need to hire
That
There
could
is a
serve-
problem.
Did you get average?
No, I got good.
Well, that's better than you need.
Oh, okay.
Your It's not you're renting a private car, but not for a long time. It's not
No.
like you're renting it for a month.
No. Yeah.
The what I just thought of is it gives lie to us having an attack and then leaving at the drop of a hat, where we've already got the hat in our hand.
I already bought the tickets. We
Okay.
have the car tomorrow. We leave.
You know, there's nothing under the circumstances. There's nothing terribly implausible about
Mhm.
having been planning to leave anyway, and then
Would you
somebody
rather be
tries to
shot
kill
at
us.
with a machine gun or with a sniper rifle?
In this game, it doesn't matter, but I would say the sniper rifle would be more realistic.
Okay. With a less than stellar sniper,
Mm-hmm. Sniper
because
would,
we don't want the sniper to succeed.
Yeah.
Well,
Imperial
it is-
Stormtrooper School of
It is a
Marksmanship.
standard trope that the sniper just happens to hit a non-vital area, such as
Better to not quite even hit him at all.
depends on who you ask.
Okay.
In any case,
I do have to be in two places at once, however.
yes,
No, we just need the doctor not there right then for some thinly plausible reason.
if you only need someone to miss, it doesn't have to be you.
That is true.
Well, currently the average travel time is in 2019. The average travel time is 10 hours.
Yeah, it's an overnight trip, basically.
Yeah.
If you just need someone to hit a
I will give
particular
you Cloud9
window from.
instructions now to start for Madrid. We're going to.
Madrid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just want to, we're probably going to hop on Cloud9.
I suspected we were taking the train.
Well, no, I was thinking of.
Yeah, you're
we'll
not
probably-
disappearing yet. It's
I
after
sus-
Madrid. that
I was
you
going to
disappear.
say, we probably go from ship to Cloud9.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
anyway,
ship
if
to
you-
airship.
If
Yeah.
you just want someone to hit a particular window from a nearby building, I would think that would hardly take a gun skill much better than average.
Well, but you also want to make sure you miss everybody in the room.
There's that.
Which is why the guard is going to see the sniper at just the last moment, which will be when he gets the click.
We can certainly arrange that, especially if I know roughly where and when to look.
Do you?
I just find a vantage point across the street,
Okay.
shoot into the,
Okay.
click the radio
Ah,
before
yes.
I pull the trigger.
Yep.
At which point you warn people of a gun and cover your principal.
Okay.
I get out of the way. I'm a nurse, not a bodyguard.
Right?
Perfectly reasonable. Okay.
So,
So we have had a window
Mm-hmm.
window shot out with probably a certain amount of noise and foofara following. We've had somebody shoot at our mysterious VIP from a building across the street.
Oh, did we make a roll for
Not
the shot?
yet. Okay, right.
Here comes the shot. That's a +1. That makes it.
This is with your Nagant.
This is with the Nagant, which is a plus. Let's see. Looking at its with the Mosin Nagant, with +1 on for the scope. I really should have you work on this gun. It could use a little improvement. That becomes epic. Oh, excuse me, just fantastic.
Still.
Fantastic is well above what you need to make
Miss.
sure you to miss everybody in the room,
While
to not
making
hurt
it,
anybody with flying glass
Mhm.
or any other
while making it
splinters.
look plausibly like you nearly hit Lennon.
Not go through a wall and hit somebody in a different room.
Yes, making sure I'm seeing what I'm hitting. That's the fundamental. rule of
Very
using a gun.
important. Yes.
And if you decide to return fire, it would add a little verisimilitude.
I think that would
Just
be entirely in
hit.
character. Yeah.
So you're aiming to miss at the
Right.
sniper.
Do I have any bonus for having known where he was going to be in advance and carefully studied that part of the
Sure.
shooting from the roof?
I'll take that into account.
Sure.
You tell me what you roll.
Not well enough for this. It is a
Well-
-1 on a base.
What are you trying to
skill.
accomplish?
I'm trying.
Essentially, the target is
Shoot in the general direction of the sniper, but not hit or hurt anybody, including the sniper.
Yes.
See,
including
the
the
That
sniper
is a little harder than just
Yes.
firing random shots off.
the
Yes.
the sniper, of course. As soon as he fired his miss,
Mhm.
Runs.
is decamping. Yes.
Sure, but I want to shoot in that direction without hurting anyone else. On a -1, I'm going to risk a reroll.
Okay, what would the result have been at -1? What's your base?
My base guns is average, so it would have been mediocre without.
I would say you don't want that because at mediocre, you're in the I might hit somebody who I don't want to
Exactly.
category. I mean,
That
it's
is-
like firing a random shot
Sure.
off, basically.
Sure. That is why I'm trying to reroll.
Yeah. So your character would go,
That's
not,
better.
Not good enough. All right.
That's probably good.
That gives me, that's good plus whatever bonus for having studied
Advanced
the
knowledge,
scene and
yeah.
considered the angles.
Yeah.
I have.
So now you're fine.
Okay,
So what
excellent.
aspect did you use?
The games of foot.
Okay.
It's perfectly a fine aspect for that. Yes.
So
All right. So yes, gunfire has occurred. Ah.
lots of,
The security for the sanitarium had rushed to the room
of
and
course.
what is going on? They say in French.
and
Point to the
bullet embedded in the mattress or whatever, and the bullet
It actually
window.
it actually hit the bed frame
Okay, still.
and embedded in
Sure.
the metal bed frame.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Well, that makes it even easier to point out.
Yeah.
And broken window and
And then yes, you basically destroyed the pane returning
when
fire.
I fired
You're not
back,
firing through the
ram.
bullet hole that,
No,
that
I wouldn't be trying to be that precise.
don't want to damage the window anymore.
No, I am a very troubled guard. I will be. I will
Right. So
be,
yes, there's going to be
feeling that the security-
an investigation and blah blah blah, and no one warned us that there'd be gunfire into or out of this room. And
Oh, there goes our damage deposit.
Yeah. And well, no one warned us that there might be snipers shooting at perfectly harmless innocent.
well, the
patients.
police will be informed. The gendarmerie.
No doubt.
So expect to be interviewed by them.
Get out of sight, roll up gun, and amble towards the train station. Looking as innocent as possible.
Is it? Wait, the train. I thought you were leaving tomorrow.
Good point.
Amble in whatever
You could
direction.
hide out at the train station overnight if you want to. That's fine.
I think you're
Or
ambling
wherever
towards.
else you like.
Oh no, I'm going to go drop off my luggage.
Okay.
Which happens to include something that's probably safer at the train station than on your person.
Okay.
Does your luggage include a steamer trunk?
Let's see. Rucksack, gun roll, barracks bag.
Do you want? Do you want to be dropping off something that could obviously hold a Nagant?
Or
The gun roll?
doesn't everyone go hunting in Spain?
It is a hunting rifle, right?
Well, no, it's a
Still, you can't
Oh.
tell that from looking at the outside of the bag.
Yeah, but security was more.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know
All right.
how thoroughly they'll search all of Eris under the circumstances.
Round up the usual suspects.
Yeah,
One of my favorite lines from Casablanca.
it is a
I'm
very
shocked.
good line.
Shocked to find out that there is gambling here.
Yeah.
Here's your winnings, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a reason now why we're leaving. Definitely not.
And yes, a thorough investigator could find out that the tickets were purchased before the assassination attempt took place, and perhaps be faintly suspicious, but I'm not worried.
I
at
think
this
they'll be
point.
more relieved that we're gone.
Yeah.
There's that.
So yes, there will be. I mean, like 3 hours later, the police show up and they're asking questions, and a couple hours after that, somebody comes and fixes the window, and
Watched suspiciously by the guard. Just
you
in
policed
case.
your brass, I
Oh.
assume.
Yeah, didn't even eject the round.
Okay. But you didn't need to police your brass because you knew you were just going to fire one shot and then leave.
That's it. I thought of firing 2 shots, but that seemed like overkill. Over
Yes. So
Is the
They-
Nagant
they-
a
they-
bolt action?
Yes.
Okay.
they spend time interviewing you about what you saw and why you fired back and what you were firing back at, and
And all I know for certain is
Heard a
that it was
gunshot.
and
Ducked.
glimpsed it, heard the shot, looked in what seemed to be the right direction, and saw a figure in dark clothing on the roof dodging out of sight.
okay. And you fired back at them and
Yeah, but obviously
did not hit them and point out the roof, and
Yes.
they go over there and they look at it, and yes, so very exciting.
Yes, leaving them a lack of clues is always a good idea.
Now, if you'd been feeling silly, you could have taken a spent piece of brass from a different gun to leave behind.
So yes, they pull the
Bullet.
bullet from the bed frame, and
One that's splat.
it's so badly damaged. They say that they don't think they're going to be able to make a match on it.
Sort of suspected that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
hitting a metal bed frame does some fairly bad things to the bone.
Annie managed to hold her tongue about how you completely reconstruct.
Yes.
That would not be helpful in this situation. And you're a nurse; they would just ignore you. Also, you're a woman, so they would just ignore you.
Yes. It helps her hold her tongue, knowing that even if she did talk, they'd just ignore her. It is better to
Better to not say anything than to say something brilliant and no one notices.
and no one pays any attention. I do not want to have been in common with Cassandra.
So, that's pretty much the afternoon. They station one of the hospital security people. Yeah, they're not really enhancing your security at all. But
No.
they station a hospital security person outside of your door.
Wow, that's a weird looking round.
What?
Well, it's the one on the right.
Really?
The slug is enclosed in the cartridge.
I wonder why.
There's no way you could mistake that for. I have never seen any other round look like that.
Well, but the slug, once it hits the metal bed
yes,
frame,
yes, that's true.
is
It's-
going to be just
Yeah.
destroyed, basically.
But now we know why I
It's
didn't leave the brass behind.
Because
that would be rather
it would be very distinctive, yes.
Mhm.
Anybody looking at that would know what weapon that came from.
Who knew anything about guns?
Who knew anything about guns?
But
And in fact,
presumably-
I would assume a police detective
Mhm.
would know at least enough to look at that
There,
and go, "Oh,
there
that's in a
would be
gun."
experts in the Paris gendarmerie. I'm not pronouncing it properly.
Close
It's
enough.
French.
Yeah, that was
therefore
pretty
not
close.
pronouncing it properly. Yes, but they'd have people who would know enough about guns that they'd have made them right away.
pronounced it correctly, I believe.
Hmm?
So,
Gendarmerie.
Yeah.
Gendarmerie.
Kevin did much better than I did.
so we're on a train now for Madrid.
We will be. We
Tomorrow.
have not finished with,
Evening of the third.
the night of the 3rd,
Right.
yes.
Presumably, we're taking the train moderately early in the morning.
That would have been up to Annie. Would it have been the morning that you would have?
That would be good. but
Okay.
should-
I mean, you had like four departure options.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Second train out.
second train out. Okay, mid-morning.
Reasonable.
All right. So, anybody want to do anything on the night of the 3rd?
Lay low.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they have no actual description of the person.
That is true.
So it's not like they're going to look at you and go, "Oh, you're exactly the person who fired that shot off."
And you
In
shouldn't
fact-
be laying low because you're the doctor. You
That's
should be
true.
You should be.
I after I make my trip to I go to the train station,
Mm-hmm.
leave my bags.
Mm-hmm.
I find out that my patient has been shot at and rushed back to the clinic.
Oh, okay.
And
Your patient is fine.
Yes, but generate more excitement and recrimination, probably.
So once again,
I
Angie,
keep rolling
you can,
stuff when I'm trying
you can
to
take a nap
to
here.
have something happen.
I
and
will
getting
certainly
big negative numbers.
Yeah.
certainly take the.
So something could have happened, but once
The
again,
dice said no.
the dice said, "No, I don't think that communication is going through."
in other words,
Yeah, you're stuck in the bathroom or something.
Yes.
some of the people
He
here
left
in
the code
Paris
book in
are
the
not
wrong
as
bathroom.
yeah are not as
here.
competent as one might expect.
You would hope, that getting a coded telegram from Paris to Moscow would be fairly easy for them. But when you roll a -3 on your contacting,
Squirrels.
something happened.
The
They're talking to the
telegraph
Chinese.
operator who knows how to do the coded message happens to be out.
Well,
sick.
no, I mean you as the secret agent encode the message and you give it to a normal telegraph operator, who then gets it to the other telegraph operator, and then they give it to whoever gets whoever is the person at the other end, and then they decode it. But apparently something happened. Like there's a line down between Paris and Moscow.
Or the telegraph operator in Paris got the message and the wrappings of his sandwich mixed up.
Or
Well,
the
or
guy
they just-
used the wrong code book and instead ordered a salami sandwich. Or look, -3. I mean, he only had contacting at fair. So, no, that.
He doesn't
What
find
is this about the ballerina? wants
So
to
the
swim
result is
Atlantic?
poor, and that's not going to cut it. Anyway, so the night of the 3rd goes by, and nothing happens.
I suspect Boris Badenov.
Yes, Boris and Natasha are stationed in Paris right now. Fearless leader is not keeping a close enough eye on them, I guess. All right, so
Well, no, they thought they saw a moose.
possibly they got distracted.
I did say squirrels were involved.
Yes, you did.
Yes. All right, so it is the morning of the 4th.
Okay.
We are packing up and leaving.
Living.
Yep.
Okay, we get out of Paris. We get on our private car. Okay. Nothing
noticed.
happened.
Nobody noticed we got a private car.
We have the world's most incompetent secret agents in Paris, apparently.
They're all hungover.
I don't know what they're doing.
Well,
Doesn't
they are
matter that they got these
I know what they're
wonderful
doing.
rumors.
I know what they're doing. They're in Paris. Come on.
Drinking and dancing. That's their downfall. All right. Anybody doing anything on the train? You leave at about 10. You'll probably get into Madrid close to midnight.
Okay, we have to drop some kind of a clue on the train. That Lennon is here.
Well, people watched you get on
Yeah.
the train.
Yeah.
It's not
Yes.
like you were hushed when you did it.
Yes,
Okay.
people saw Lennon get on the private car, climb into the private car.
I mean, if you want to actually have somebody make a contacting rule to spread a rumor at the train station, you could do that. I would suggest signing.
7.
We should do that.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I rolled a -2.
You know what that feels like.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, so yes, you have a very uneventful day-long train trip.
And the next day, the Secret Service read the newspaper.
Yes,
There's
in the newspaper, there's a little part of the social whatever. This person was there. This person did that kind of a thing, and it was rumored that that Lenin himself took a train yesterday morning to Madrid.
That's a real crummy photograph.
There's no
No
photograph.
photograph.
Okay, darn.
Yeah, that hasn't reached the side of the Atlantic.
So, the 4th is over. We're on to the 5th. It's the night of the 5th. There's no place really.
Set up.
Yeah, you can't check into a sanitarium in the middle of the night. If you have an emergency medical thing, you could find a hospital, but that's not what this is.
More plausibly,
Hotel.
the best hotel we can find close
Okay.
to the train station in Madrid.
Want to make a contacting roll to look for a hotel? That's apparently right across the street from the train station.
Apparently.
You look out and go, hey, what about that really nice hotel?
It's built into the train station.
No, it's across the street.
Godlike.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you didn't take the -2 into account.
I didn't take a -2 into
So it
account.
was actually legendary on
legendary.
Simon's contacting.
Mine was still poor.
Yes, that's fine. You rolled a -2. I know what that's like. So, we spend the night in the nice hotel. It is the 5th.
Is this where we get on a boat?
Well, I believe
No.
Jack suggested that it was you spend 3 days in Paris,
Yep.
and 3 days in Madrid, and then after the 3 days in Madrid, you get on a boat for the U.S. Except
Okay.
that you don't actually do that. You go up to the you disappear once you've gotten on the boat.
I will let you set up the
Let's see.
last length trip. You're better at it.
Okay.
Lisbon,
Besides which, it's probably more expensive.
Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you actually don't get on a boat in Madrid. But
Yeah.
Right.
whatever.
Meanwhile,
It's a boat from the coast. Whatever
Um,
coastal city is closest to Madrid.
uh, meanwhile, someplace, maybe just outside the city proper, we're up in the hills. You know, the more elevated part of Spain. Am I right? Or is Madrid lower, flat? I don't. remember
No,
the
it's in a rather hilly area of large valley,
Mm. So,
So
if
go
the
away.
climate
if I remember
is-
correctly.
What?
I'm talking
Oh,
Mike.
okay.
I'm talking
Sure.
Mike.
So if
No,
the
he's telling you to go away, Martin.
So if the climate is what I think it is, there are probably nice places up on the hillside, former villas and noblemen's retreats that are now being put to other purposes. Thinking of a
Alright.
plausible place for Lemon to be taking a rest cure, someplace a little more secluded.
So Madrid is basically in the center of Spain.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
The best bet might actually be Lisbon.
Lisbon, Portugal. Yeah, that's a major port city. So you would.
Because the other obvious one is Cadiz.
Am I right that would take us back into France, or
No.
am I geography?
No, Cadiz is northwest of Gibraltar.
Ah,
On the Atlantic side or the
I said northwest.
Northwest.
Okay,
so
so it is the
yeah,
Atlantic side.
Atlantic
Atlantic
side.
side. It's not in.
I
Still,
believe
Lis-
Cadiz may have been where Columbus set off from.
I believe
might
you're
well
correct,
be,
then.
but Lisbon might be a bigger port and a shorter train trip.
So yes, Lisbon is probably the best.
There's Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Lisbon's right there. Cadiz is right there.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other
Yeah.
for how long to get there from the grid. Lisbon's a
Probably
bigger, busier port and
Yeah.
slightly closer to any place on the other side of the Atlantic.
Right.
All right. So we're staying here for a few days.
Yes.
3 days specific. Are we doing pretty much what we did in the last two cities? We
Yep.
try to
Without
spread
the-
rumors. We get stuff that lets people know that it's Lenin because you're getting all of Lenin's
Favorite stuff.
favorite
Favorite
stuff.
This time we keep to the hotel rather than trying for.
Are we gonna try to do another stay at
We
sanitarium, or are we gonna just stick it out in the hotel?
I would stick it out in the hotel.
Stick it out in the hotel.
It
If
would
we're
be
only going to be a
simpler.
few days, yeah.
All right.
That's why I was thinking about possible.
All right,
Obviously,
so,
the
Simon.
sanitarium security sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
it's
see
not
if
like
we
the
can buy
hotel
the-
security is a lot better, but okay.
Let me see
Assuming
if
I'm
we
rolling
can afford
contacting,
the.
Yes.
the raw roll is superb.
Okay.
So effectively,
This
good.
is spreading the root. Well, actually, the first contacting roll would be to find a Russian grocery store. So
good.
that's good enough.
Sufficient,
Now you're rolling a contacting roll to spread a rumor.
and that doesn't take the penalty, does it?
No.
That would be superb.
Okay. Well, it's better than I've been rolling, but Okay. So you pick up groceries and periodicals and try to spread your. What are you? What? What? What is your problem?
What is your childhood trauma?
Huh? What is your problem?
The
Don't
nice
have a
thing
problem
about
while I'm here.
dogs is that they don't grow up to be axe murderers.
No, they
The lack
only
of
grow up to be
prehensive
larger
dogs.
dogs at worst.
All right.
You can also leave
Hey.
them alone for several hours,
Hey.
and they won't do so, and they won't kill themselves.
Yeah. You can leave them alone for several hours and the police don't come looking for you.
That too. Okay. Now, what's the problem here? What's the problem?
Something.
Is that what you want? You can't have you can only have the one you're currently working on.
Okay. So, do we need to stage another assassination attempt?
Yes.
Well, you want to do that when you're ready to leave,
Yes. Yes,
which
we
is
do.
in a couple of days.
Yes, we do. And probably wouldn't be a good idea to have another shot. He's probably want to do something else.
Right.
Like a bomb.
That was actually the new girl.
Yes. What? Oreo. All right.
Somebody's getting exiled.
Okay.
Okay. How many days are we staying here?
3.
3.
5th, 6th, and 7th. Are we leaving on the 7th or the morning of the 8th? Actually, you're probably leaving on the morning of the 8th because you don't
Yeah.
leave. You don't leave. Well, actually, you could leave on the. What you're doing is you're taking a train to Lisbon and then taking a boat from Lisbon. So the train could be overnight. So you could leave on the evening of the 7th, and then the morning of the 8th is when you would pretend to get on a boat and disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So the afternoon of the 7th is when we need an assassination attempt.
Yes.
Yep.
And what do you want it to be this time?
Bomb?
Yeah.
Bombs do tend to be indiscriminate. However, that's just a matter of crowd management.
Poison.
No,
Not
poison's,
showing enough.
poison's not showing up.
Yeah, you need to
Unless
have
we're
it
going to poison
actually
the whole restaurant.
apparent to, other people. You can't just
That's you.
say that somebody tried to poison you.
And we're taking steps against poisons because that's
It's a way that it might actually happen. So.
If you use poisoning, I'm gonna go to like, hey, try this cheese. You seeing spots before your eyes? I know I didn't put enough rat poison in there.
Okay, so yeah, bomb. I think Lennon should be well enough to make a trip out to a park
Well, he
On
has
the
been recovering.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
on the 6th, and then yeah.
Okay, if you're feeling silly, you could do a mustard gas bomb.
No, that's even more indiscriminate than just a bomb.
Yeah, the problem with mustard gas is it just goes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
you can't control the wind well enough.
Yes,
well,
they,
Simon can. But
they discovered that during a number of offensives when they ended up gassing their own people.
yeah, that's
Um,
one of the reasons that they didn't use gas in the Second World War is because hey, the wind shifted and suddenly our own troops are getting gassed. Let's not do that anymore.
But we could arrange for something that looks like mustard gas, but isn't.
Nah, this is a
But-
bomb.
But if anybody's
Just a plain
there,
boom?
and if anybody's there and ends up in the fog and doesn't get sick, we've blown the gaff. So just a bomb.
All right. Is this bomb going off in the park when you're?
There we
Yes.
go.
Going off in the park.
You're going to be taking walks in the park twice a day, morning and evening.
The Lennon and bodyguard.
Lennon and bodyguard, perhaps doctor and nurse as well, but no, nurse has to be out of sight for this one.
No doctor. Just.
Okay. Yep, you're going to take walks twice a day in the park, and
One of
the
the
afternoon
benches.
of the second day, something goes boom. And the assassins are going to be are going to be more cautious than they have been at other times, and it'll happen when no one's around or no one's nearby anyway. Almost as if the intended victim set it off himself.
All right. So that's the plan.
Yeah.
I could do that with sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
What's the assassination attempt? I missed most of the discussion.
Well,
Bomb in the park set off by the target.
Ah, like some sort
But
of
not-
clever
I mean, we're not-
trick
we're
like
not-
obviously.
something.
Not obviously. People aren't going to go. Why was Lennon bombing himself? No, it's
Right.
but
Ah,
Jack will set it off in such a way that nobody gets injured. And this will be on the afternoon of the 7th. Nothing happened on the night of the 5th. The 6th, nothing happened. The night of the 6th, nothing happened.
Night of the 6th, I have to put together a bomb, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
plausible, but not big.
Yes, and probably has shrapnel, which makes it difficult to have
Well,
him.
Yeah. I mean, shrapnel is very difficult to manage.
Yep.
Even as a demolitions expert, shrapnel is very difficult to manage.
Okay.
If
So-
you
So I would say
random
just an
ways.
explosive.
Just an explosive? Okay.
I know you're comfortable.
Yeah.
If you went off
Shape
the- I
charge.
can be comfortable.
You guys tell me where it's supposed to be placed.
Well, I thought
I
I have it in my
I
hand.
thought you were going to give it to Jack, and he was going to
Oh,
sleight of hand it to close to himself, but not in the same zone, basically.
Basically, throw it in a bush as I'm walking by.
It is not labeled, but it is basically this side towards you.
Okay.
Do not point the other side towards
Yeah.
you.
Yes, we all have seen the explosives with don't point this side towards you.
This face toward enemy. Mm-hmm.
Why am I rolling like this today?
I suppose I should roll
So-
for the.
I get a
Yes,
superb
roll,
in
make
my-
an engineering roll for your bomb.
and I get a superb in my sleight of hand.
Okay.
And I got a what is one below superb?
Great.
Great on the bomb,
Okay.
which should be sufficient, I think.
So you put it in
A bush.
a bush, but it blows up once you're out of the zone with.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I still fall to the ground. Like I've been.
As you guys are walking away from
I guess I should roll.
where the bomb is going to go off, make an alertness roll.
Oh. As part of making the bomb. Can I use forensics to make sure that there isn't anything pointing towards me as far as
So forensics is for like medical stuff.
and investigating crimes? I'm thinking, what is it? What
this
would
book.
be used to prevent me from leaving clues?
Overflow.
Yeah.
Overflow?
On your engineering, yeah. What?
So,
For
Epic.
what? What was the role for?
Alertness.
You asked
Oh,
for
your
alertness
alertness.
roll.
Okay. So who is it? It's not just you. Your bodyguard has to be there too. right?
Yeah, I rolled a good.
Okay. That's actually good enough.
Ah.
And it's just the two of you?
Mhm.
Nobody
Yes.
else is with
Yeah.
you. All right. So you both notice somebody is sneaking up to the bush, like crouched, like they're all stealthy.
Uh-huh. Well, pretty stealthy for someone with average stealth.
Well, no,
To the
that's-
bush that you just put the bomb in.
As it's about to go off.
And they're getting out a gun, and then the bomb goes off.
I was wondering if a real assassination attempt might collide with our fake one.
Okay, let me look at this. Well, the thing is, he doesn't know he's in the same zone because you sleight of handed it into the bush. So let me look at this. Are you aware? No. GM rolls 2 dice. This would be a medium length fuse because you wanted to be away from
Yep.
the bush. What is the loop number? It is 2 right now. And I rolled -1.
I think that means it goes to boom.
+2 or +1? No. Is the roll 0 or -1? Yes. All right. So it hasn't gone off yet. Are you continuing to move away? You know that there's a guy back there hiding behind the bush, pulling out a gun. I mean, hiding,
Yeah.
but you, with a
We-
good alertness, noticed him,
Yeah.
and you easily noticed him. This guy is not stealthy. He thinks he is, but he got a fair on his stealth roll. So
No, I'm pulling out my watch and checking the time.
okie dokie.
Continuing to walk slowly away.
No. I'm more than one. I'm not in the same zone, so I'm not gonna
So
get.
you're far enough away from
You
the bomb. and
moved the
stop
zone
moving.
away.
So
So yeah.
I'm stopping and looking at my watch. You know, and
All right. So
so what time did the doctor say we had to come back? In Russian.
you don't speak Russian.
I know. So I
You nod.
I frown thoughtfully, like I can't quite remember that.
Yeah, like
detail.
I'm a
I
bodyguard.
don't know what you're
I have
saying. But,
challenging
I don't
thinking.
know. All
I
right.
can shoot back at people pretty well. I can grab suspicious characters and put them in various immobilizing holds.
I don't think you'll be putting this one in the hole.
No, I think we'll be putting him in a hole, or somebody will.
All right.
This is
So he is quite obviously, for you, you don't actually see this, you just know there's a person back there.
Mhm.
But you, with your amazingly high alertness, noticed he's aiming at you.
Mhm.
He's going to get you in his sights, basically.
That's fine. When he fires, I'll dodge.
Loop, okay. Is the loop 0? Yes. Explosive explodes.
boom.
Are you aware of the live explosive in your zone? No, he is absolutely clueless.
He missed it. He missed his roll against Superb to try and see it. Right.
So, he gets blown up.
So as the bomb goes off, I grab you and we go fall into the ground.
Yep. Or
So I gotta be able to do
even
this
more
here.
plausibly, since I was braced for it to go off, I could grab you and
The two of you fall to the
Right,
ground.
Yes,
yeah.
the two of you fall to the ground.
yeah.
Then we get up. Yeah, we start heading back fast. I'm kind of leaning on you, and you're carrying me.
Yep.
And we're going back to the hotel.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
I foresee more interesting conversations with local police.
This inept fool with a gun and a bomb, and he killed himself.
He might have been just carrying the gun as backup.
But he had it out in his
Out
hand.
of his hand.
Will that be clear from the remains?
Yes, he isn't
Okay.
vaporized. He's just
Wasn't
dead.
wasn't sure how much damage.
Okay.
I mean, the gun isn't usable anymore, but it's in his
Sure.
hand.
Okay, so he was carrying the
Okay,
explosive as a backup.
We
and it
go
went off
by
as
the
he was
bush,
in
and I
town.
use my sleight of hand, and don't do as well. I only got a great. But I grab the gun.
Ah. Or
This kind of.
is by the bush on our path back to the hotel?
I mean, it can be
Bother,
that you were
sure.
going from the hotel
That's
into
true.
the park.
We were walking around in the park, not necessarily going in any straight line path. Sure.
Okay, great is just barely enough because you're getting it out of the hand that
Of a
is all
corpse.
pulped, and it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So to get the mangled gun out of the mangled hand is not easy, but great is good enough to do it. You just don't have any overflow, and you're not doing it gracefully, but you manage to do it without anybody seeing you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then people won't wonder why there was a bomb and a gun.
Anyway,
That's true. It does make it more plausible. If
So
he
there
was
are people
planting a bomb
screaming and
it
running
went
away.
off.
Mhm.
Yes.
We pick it up. We quicken our pace once I get the gun.
Okay. So, world's most inept secret agent, apparently.
Wow.
He blew himself up. So you get back to the hotel, and we are going to call it for the night.
Okay.
Fair enough.
My rolling tonight has just been awful. Until I finally got word back on the morning of the 7th. Oh yes, you should try and kill him.
Page point, Sammy.
17.
John Doe did not use any.
16.
John Doe used none.
Jack used none.
All right.
Rick?
No change.
Edgy.
Yes.
16 is what I had before, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I did
Okay. I am going to be posting somebody, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to go auto host, I guess. Good night to everyone who's been watching the stream or who watches it in the future.
So you take you take the low fate point and the fate point number below his, you add them together, that's less than his.
There.
Yeah, take the next one